Keep listening to Triple M NRL on the Listener app. Next, the Brisbane Broncos take on the Roosters.
Shut up!
Now we go to Adelaide Oval as we join the first quarter between Collingwood and the Sydney Swans for Gather Round. Triple M rocks footy.
Back in Adelaide. 4 goals last week against North Melbourne. Got to do a lot of their scoring at the moment with so many of their forwards and prime movers not playing. And Pies long out of defence. Mychek couldn't mark. Side bottom again. Picks the ball up off the ground. Was tackled immediately though. And the tackle sticks from Corey Warner.
Just getting a little bit of control back here, Sydney. The last 5 or 10 minutes has been mainly Collingwood's forward half. They're winning that stat, but Sydney got an opportunity.
He's too far out to score, so he kicks a disciplined ball. McLean flew. Grundy, lightning fast hands to handle him. Now Laddam's in the pocket, wants to get back inside. The handball was dropped by Cleary. Pendlebury, quick to Lipinski. Pies get out of defence.
Oh, beautiful control by the boot from Lipinski there to find Elliott and find safety, really, because they were under danger and under threat. Elliott marks at half-back. Come a long way up to get this. 3-2 to 3-1 in favour of the Pies here at the moment. The goal-kicking frenzy at Adelaide Oval continues. Little one out the back door. Comes to Membry. Got the handball off. Over the top it comes. Collingwood one-on-one in there. McCreary. Sullivan now gets hold of it. He's tackled immediately. It was beautifully done there by Wicks. And they push the ball to the boundary. And we'll throw it in 25 metres around from Collingwood's goal. They lead it here by a point.
Still side bottom, two-man. Red Head Lending.
There's 7 disposals. Equal leading ball winner. Number 1 rated player for the Magpies this year at 34 years of age.
Excellent last week in their win over Carlton. They started well again, as you heard. Pies lead it by a point. Warner's kick was partially smothered. Lipinski back after the ball. It ricochets out of bounds. 60 out from the Pies goal. Biggles, Bob Jane Seamarks.
Yeah, so Darcy Cameron is up and about. He'll be back on the field shortly, so that suggests it was just probably a corky or a knock somewhere in his hip.
Just doing those stretches that people with back injuries do.
Apparently.
It's good to see him out there. And stay doing the ruck work in the meantime.
A weird report from a weird man. Come on, Biggers. There's Rowbottom. Backwards for Tom McCartan. See, they've ceased that plan of him playing forward this year rule already.
Didn't last long.
No. He's a gun defender.
But nothing wrong with throwing.
This kick is not so good. Put Blakey under pressure. Got bowled over. Might have got him in the back. Umpire says no play on. Grundy. Underground handball comes back to him. Neat little kick out wide. Punched away again by Collingwood's Quainer. Spills to side bottom. Side bottom a little chiseler inside. And McCartan takes the mark. He's told to play on. So he had to get rid of it. Side bottom with a double-handed fist to Elliott. Elliott from the pocket. Real acute angle missed. 3-3-21 Collingwood. Sydney 3-1-19 Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Gee, lost a bit of composure there, Sydney in their defensive 50. Some missed kicks. Put themselves under pressure. They were in a pretty good shape and good position, but got to be careful here.
This time they play direct down the broadcast side. Wicks, long kick looking for Hayward. He couldn't mark the footy. McLean around that one as well. Maynard, Warner, Pack. All merged as one. And it'll be balled up.
And it was Wicks that turned it over in the defensive 50, so he was always going to play safe with his second disposal. Happy to take it long to a contest, but Collingwood are winning these contested ball and clearance situations in this first term.
Good hands by Rampy. Now Warner from the back part of the square. Kick was measured, careful, okay to clear it.
Yeah, goes that wide to George. Kick was over-kicked slightly. Maynard's got to beat two, and he professionally turned it to the boundary line and disguised it. Was well done because he was under pressure. He'll have another boundary throw in here. 3-3-21 Collingwood, 3-1-19 Sydney. Both sides looking pretty even here at the moment, the way they're playing. Neither ruckman got on that. Lipinski stolen by Campbell. Gave the handball here to Roberts. Roberts forward, straight down the throat of Perryman. It'll kick over the top. How many more games for Chris? But equal Jimmy Steins, Ash.
2 more BTs on 242 consecutive. Steins at 244.
He'll do that on Anzac Day. What a day to do it as Membry takes the mark on the wing.
a record.
Amazing record.
Incredible record. As BT said, a massive occasion to do it as well. McStay from the back of the pack. Sixth in the queue, takes the mark just inside 50.
That's a big clunk. Let's have a look. Comes from behind, reads it perfect, and just a nice clean grab.
Difficult shot. A few steps in from the boundary, left forward pocket. The 29-year-old kept it low and he's off because he loves it. Collingwood extend their lead 4-3 to 3-1. 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard joined Bunnings Trade Power Pass to get dedicated support, flexible credit and faster shopping with free Power Pass app.
Yeah, my check and McStay now with goals. And it was a good contested mark, but it was Tom McCartan that had taken the assertive position to play about 10 metres in front of McStay. So when the ball was kicked in long, McCartan was basically standing under it where McStay could get the run and jump from behind. And he was able to get his hands in front of McCartan. He's one of the best contested marks. McStay when he's up and about at his best. And then the nice finish.
What have we got for us, Ashley?
Just that match-up between Nick Dacos and Jordan BT. Nick Dacos just the 4 disposals, Jordan with 3.
All over it. Ash Tua under pressure. Ethy's Oppo analysis statistician is here breathing down his neck. They're not on talking terms at this stage. Out of the middle we come. Sydney with the win there. And the high fend here will go against Sydney. I think it might have been Rowbottom. And it'll go to Sullivan, the free kick, a genuine 10-hour forward. Gave it to Dacos. That's Nick. High ball in. Here they go. McStay from the side again. An almost opportunity. Picked up here by Sydney. Beautiful ball out. Very, very wide. Moore was able to get over the top of McLean. Spoil it to the ground. Long handball there from Moore. The Cameron made a bit of a mess of it. Here goes Sydney.
Through the middle they go. Campbell, long and direct. He's got absolutely nothing to kick to inside 50. So puts it out into space. Quain all back first for Collingwood. The ball sat nicely for him. Did really well, Root.
He was under pressure running away.
Slowly regaining his confidence, I think, Painter, I reckon.
Played all but one game last year, but just wasn't quite the same, was he?
No.
Maynard through the centre. Little chip over the top, and Pendlebury has room. 2 kicks around from goal. Their premium ball user, and that's Wilder. Hill drops it. The kick was spot on for him. Under a little bit of pressure. Long. Handball's out. Grundy's there waiting for it for Sydney at fullback.
He's indeed. Little kick here. It's under pressure. Here's Quainer again. He's lost a lot of weight, Joey. 3 or 4 kilos.
Got too big, you reckon?
May have got too big. Maybe he was told that. And he's tried something else this year, and he does look more agile as a result. Finite, I know. Kick back in the middle to Warner. Warner streams away. Look at the ball to McLean. Takes the mark. Can run to an open goal for Sydney. Stops the run of 3 in a row for Collingwood. 4-1-25 to Collingwood. 4-3-27. Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Gee, again, Sydney just had a player free inside the centre corridor, which they had in one of the earlier goals with Isaac Heaney. We know, as I said earlier, Collingwood, they don't really play man-on-man. They roll across, they zone as a team defensively. But if someone just seeps out the back and gets into space, which Chad Warner does, as well as any midfield in the competition, then it's going to favour the forwards who are going to be out goal side. The angled kick from Riley Bice was brilliant again.
Dan Gorringe holding up a sign down in the road.
Yeah.
Did you see
I
that?
saw that. I wouldn't understand what it means.
I don't know, but he'll be nervous for tomorrow for Carlton.
What's he said if they lose?
Wow, who knows? He's done everything already. He's dyed his hair.
Joey didn't seem
his
super
name to
impressed, if
Richmond.
I'm being honest.
It's all about Dan.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. He wins the clearance and then laces out Warner. Trying to kick the guts out of it, so it rolls inside 50. Amati's pickup was excellent, but he handballs back to Heaney, who spun into trouble. No free kick paid. Long got a handball that he didn't really want. Warner's got him. Ball jars free to Heaney. Now back to McLean. 65 out from Sydney's goal. Rampy loads up a long ball. Nobody home. And Darcy Cameron marks on the last line.
Got 3 minutes left in the quarter here. Short ball finds Dacos. Nick Dacos right on the back end here. Kicks wide with a beautiful kick to Elliott. Pinpoint pass. Elliott goes to side bottom over the top. Myercheck was there as well. Can they load up and keep going? Side bottom said, I'm going to kick it in front of Josh Dacos. He ran into the centre circle. Got the little handball. Ran out of tarmac in the end. Gee, Myercheck did well to paddle the ball and then knock it out front. The free kicking advantage is paid here. It'll come back though. Against Hoskinelli, against Myercheck.
Well, wow. They're saying contact below the knees.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Because that's ridiculous call. That player came about a second after he'd already slapped the ball away.
That can't be serious.
That rule is just no good, unfortunately. In that game.
The rule's fine.
If the umpires understand, the umpires got to understand the whole the rule, what it's for.
It was an unnecessary rule, though. We had one injury in 35 years.
I know, but that free kick should have been paid.
I saw Johnny Longmire downstairs. He's having a bit of a look here tonight as well. Yep, good to see him there.
Yep.
I saw he caught up with a few of his former premiership players for dinner yesterday.
Good job.
Yeah, Lewis Roberts-Thompson and Heath Grundy and a few of the old school boys. So good to see now that he's no longer coach.
Time for another one, Sydney. Jordan pumps it back in. Amati got rid of his man. Darcy Moore left here. He's assessed it nicely. On the side bottom, on defensive 50, decides to kick with a left foot ball to a 3-on-1.
He does, and look at that. Collingwood almost win it. At least they draw it as well. Kept alive here by Membry. Hoskinelli went out for the running banana. Got it to Myercheck. He knocked it to ground. No front and centre. Dacos ran past it. McCartan, wonderful handball. Found Grundy. Grundy out the back door. Little handball to keep it alive here for Sydney. Rampy, one of their best defenders over a long period of time. Finds Lloyd.
And then Corey Warner. A minute 13 before quarter time. Brody Grundy, man. Red Dead Lending. What are his numbers?
He's the leading ball winner for the Swans with 10 disposals and a couple of intercepts.
Two-time best and fairest winner at Collingwood back in the day. He's Quainer will clean up at half-back. Frampton not totally sure where to go to next. So looks laterally to Perryman, the former Giant. On a long lead is Bobby Hill. He's covered a lot of territory. He's picked that one up just before it hit the turf. Now that should be a mark.
Oh, the umpire's called throw in. Yeah, Bobby might have been going the bluff.
Yeah, Triple M Harvey Norman replay definitely hit the ground when he tried to pluck the one-hander sliding down.
Let's have a look. Have we got the replay now?
Oh,
good call, Joey.
Yeah.
Definitely hit the ground, no doubt about that. Did not complete the mark in the field of play. Didn't even complete the mark, in fact. Little handball now, squared out here to Jordan. James Jordan's able to bend over, pick it up, give it to this man Grundy that Ash spoke of. Look at him, takes a bounce, running to 50. He wanted to fake as well, but he gave the handball at the end. Knocked away, Collingwood through the middle, found an opportunity with Elliott. Elliott goes screaming through the centre circle, got under it, Myercheck. Out the back was McCartan. Picked up by Blakey, a little inside out, left foot slider, finds his man.
And that should take the Swans to quarter time now. 4-3 Collingwood, 4-1 Sydney, and the table has been set for a really, really high standard game of footy tonight. Joey Montagna and Mark Prosciutto have got you covered all night long. Rhett Bigland's on the boundary. True man with all the numbers. Great to have him back at Gather Round as well. Brian Taylor and Jack Heron with you for Friday Night Footy at the Adelaide Oval for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Join Bunnings Trade Power Pass to get dedicated support, flexible credit and faster shopping with the free Power Pass app.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Gather Round.
a Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Macca's with one of 6 collectible toys.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Kelly, you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You've won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat work day. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Great Scott, Sydney! It's time to change musical theatre history. Direct from London's West End, Back to the Future, the musical, makes its Australian premiere this September at the Sydney Lyric. From the creators of the legendary movie trilogy, Back to the Future, the musical is a multi-award-winning stage sensation. The clock's ticking. Book your tickets now at backtothefuturemusical.com.au.
At Bunnings Trade, we're here to help with PowerPass. Get exclusive pricing, flexible payment options and dedicated support from our trade team. So sign up to PowerPass today. Terms and conditions apply. See the Bunnings Trade website for details. Bunnings Trade. Helping business is our trade.
No boring stories.
How about that?
No blind shouting. No brainless spam.
Absolutely extraordinary.
Just the best sports coverage from Australia's biggest newsroom. Code Sports. No BS, just sport. Grab the app today.
Whether you're building, fixing or crafting something from scratch, Flexivit Abrasives has got your back. Proudly made right here in Australia, Flexivit's cutting and grinding discs deliver the strength and precision you need to tackle any project, big or small. So if you're a weekend warrior in the shed or a pro on the job site, choose the abrasives trusted by tradies and built to last. Flexivit Abrasives. Tough enough for the pros, right at home in your hands and available at all leading industrial and hardware suppliers.
Blackout sale is now on at 40 Winks. Embrace the darkness with 50% off a select range of mattresses and 30% off selected furniture. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Hurry, sale ends Sunday. 40 Winks. Serious about sleep.
These are Sydney's best buys.
Tradies, save up to 25% on your next landscaping job with a Flower Power Trade membership. Apply online at flowerpower.com.au. We deliver everything, everywhere, 7 days a week.
Best buys.
For answers to your legal questions, hear it from someone who knows. Amy Dale from the Law Society of New South Wales hosts Lawfully Explained. Hear it at lawfullyexplained.com.au.
Best buys. Bye-bye.
Tradies, while you're getting behind the footy, Beacon Trade's getting behind you with everything you need to light the Australian home. Fans, electrical accessories and the largest range of lighting. Partner up at beacontrade.com.au and let's make light work.
With NRMA Insurance, you could enjoy our multi-policy discount when you take out 2 or more eligible policies. NRMA Insurance, a help company. Discount applies in tiers based on the number of eligible policies. Maximum tier reached at 9 eligible policies. Visit nrma.com.au/customer-discounts for more info. Discount may be subject to minimum premiums. Always read the PDS. PDS and TMDs available from NRMA Insurance at nrma.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Rocks Gather Round.
Oh my God, we're back again.
This quarter, for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Exciting start to Friday night footy at quarter time. Collingwood 4-3-27 leads Sydney 4-1-25. McStay, Hill, McCreary and Myercheck the goal kickers for Collingwood. McLean, Heaney, Campbell and Hanley the goal kickers for the Sydney Swans. All the first quarter numbers. Ash Chua, Red Z Lending.
Collingwood plus 12 in contested ball, 44-32. Ned Long, champion data, have him as the number 1 rated player on the ground. 10 disposals, 3 clearances. Grundy with 10 and 10 hit-outs, 4 to advantage.
Rhett Biglan's down on the boundary for Bob Jane's team arts tonight.
Yeah, both teams still in their huddles, but right on quarter time, veteran Dane Rampy for the Swannies had a really nasty cut in between his eyes. They had to patch him up on the bench, so he's got a few stitches in that. He should be okay.
Bob Jane team arts have got a great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. I'm interested in what that looks like, Biggers, between the eyes. What cut from eye to eye or a bad one? Or
it was up and down. It was a vertical one there, BT, so that goes up and down.
Right. Very cryptic messages we're getting from the fella down there on the bench today with back exercises and now a up and down slit from the nostril to the brain.
I think he might have enjoyed Thursday night footy at Adelaide Oval, our boundary rider. But good first quarter, pretty even. Collingwood maybe a little bit better inside. Talked about Ned Long and what he did in that first quarter. I think he had 7 contested possessions. Sydney, when they get goal side with Warner, who's covering the ground, and Heaney looked really dangerous as well. But pretty tight first quarter.
Yeah, it's pretty well summed up. Collingwood had the better of the inside game, the contest and clearance. That's how they've scored 3 of their 4 goals. Not as clean by foot, but Sydney on the outside have looked better. They've been able to score 3 of their 4 goals from transition from the back half, and they've been a bit cleaner by foot. So so far history saying this season it seems it can move the ball on the outside that are winning games as opposed to winning more clearance and contests. So we'll see if that continues as the game unfolds.
So scoring from half-back.
Scoring from half-back is the key in being able to move the footy. And teams that have been winning contested ball and clearance, it's not as a high rate of winning games as it used to be anymore. It's a lot less these days. So it's not so much what you do on the inside, it's what you can do on the outside.
Bit more possession football, be able to move the ball, hit your target, find the loose.
No doubt about Joey Montagna. He's on all those shows and he just cuts it to pieces. An analytical specialist. Back in the middle we go to start this second quarter. 2-point Pies lead. High ball, Laddams was there. Little wonder Heaney won the clearance, got it to Warner. Chad to half forward and Maynard used the body brilliantly to take the mark. Half back, little kick sideways. Finds Lipinski. Lipinski on a left foot trigger ball. Squeeze it to Crisp. Crisp finds an opportunity here now with Hoskin Elliott. Hoskin Elliott just forward of the wing. His ball over the top to that man Long.
He's everywhere, Ned Long. What are his numbers again, Ash? Red Zed Lending.
Disposal number 11, leading ball winner.
And it's a good one too, number 11. A patient kick for Jack Crisp, who marks just inside 50.
The quiet first quarter, Crisp only had the 3 disposals.
Good build-up by Collingwood. They had the out number on that outer wing the whole time was with Ned Long, and he didn't get it the first time, didn't get the second. He kept working, and in the end was able to get that ball just outside the 50.
Has not finished out of their top 10 in the best and fairest since he joined them from Brisbane.
Been a sensational pickup for them. Hasn't kicked a goal this season until now. Great finish from Jack Crisp, who's closing in on a massive milestone. There's a nice moment, 5-3-33 to 4-1-25. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
If you play as many consecutive games as he has, you do, and you're a half-decent player, you should finish in the top 10, shouldn't you?
Yep, you should. Yep. He is an incredibly consistent player. Modest, all of those things you like about human beings. He's it.
Great pickup.
He's probably one they didn't realise, I think, how good a player they were getting when they got him from Brisbane. He was a bit more of the steak knives, I think, but he's turned into a wonderful player for this team. Is that
the steak?
Isn't he how that saying? I think he was.
Yeah. He what?
Yeah. He was like the steak knives. He was sort of thrown in the trade.
Extra. Part of the Dunk Beams situation.
The Beams trade. They threw in Jack Crisp, and they weren't really expecting he was going to turn out to be this good.
By the Macarthur crockery, and they throw in the steak knives.
Yeah, take that.
Back in the middle we go.
BT.
Joey's on all those shows. Last crack, first crack.
You're in one of those moods, BT.
High crack, back crack. They're all there. The beautiful Fox shows picked up by Maynard. Little left foot kick out wide to Lipinski. Missed the target over the line and out of bounds deliberately.
What's your favourite of those shows?
Yeah, good question.
Joey's crack.
Back second.
I'm not sure that's an answer we get often. McLean went early. Pendlebury back in traffic. Josh Dacos along with some confidence arches the back and kicks a tumbling one. Bobby Hill's got to go and does. Moves it forward. But Sydney is set up. Rampy can connect with Wicks, and now they come back into the corridor. The Swans 4-1-25. Pies 5-3-33. Roberts goes wide.
Long kick wide. He finds his intended target out there in McCartan. Very composed is Tom McCartan. Short ball by foot finds Ollie Florent rather than Florian. Florent into the middle to Roberts. Roberts a booming left foot kick inside centre square. Searching ball particularly out wide. Picked up on the half volley there by Laddams. Gave it to Haywood. He's a finisher. He's messed up another one. Didn't quite get underneath it enough. More handball straight to Sydney. Around the body here from Hanley. And Hanley has kicked the goal. Something from nothing for the young man. 5-3-33 Collingwood. 5-1-31 Sydney. Hanley's got a couple.
Yep. Good work by the little fella. Will Hayward's butchered a couple going forward. If you're unhappy, he could have had a couple on the board after kicking 4 last week as well. But importantly for the Swans, Hanley was there to mop it up and get a goal.
square, guys.
Stack crack.
Go square.
Any we've missed?
That show. The beauty.
Next side, set up. Straight back.
They're all on crack.
BT.
Not sure what to do with that. 5-3-33 to 5-1-31.
What'd you give your steak today, BT, out of 10?
Oh, it was a 9.
A 9?
It was high. It's as good as any steakhouse I've eaten in.
Did you pay for it, BT, or was it free?
We did. No, we did.
That might be a lie.
Oh, well.
Long turn to the court.
In a roundabout way, we did.
He also said, Roo, that he did three functions today. Didn't get paid for any of it, he reckons.
That was one of them.
Right. That might be wrong as well. Indirectly.
I mean, that armour guard truck belongs to someone, and it's not me or you, Joey.
No. Talk about that. Rule was up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I heard. Cameron. Extra handball to Hoskin Elliott, who set off the stoppage, waited to get it, and knew what to do with it after that. Great finish from Will Hoskin Elliott. And Collingwood get the reply again. 6-3-39 to 5-1-31. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
That's another stoppage goal. 4 goals, 1 out of their total of 6 goals, 3 from stoppage. So it's a high ratio. They're winning that battle, as we said earlier in the game, in there. Darcy Cameron's been important. Hoskin Elliott back into the side tonight with a few of those injuries. Makes the most of his chances.
The voice of Joey Montagna on Triple M football here. Hoskin Elliott been under a little bit of pressure, but puts Collingwood 8 points up here now. 2 goals to 1 in the quarter, favouring the Pies.
Cameron just too strong. Laddams has got to do better than that. Up against the number 1 ruckman. He can't get pushed off the ball in that part of the ground. You do that, and then you're going to have blokes like Will Hoskin just calling for the ball, and that's what he did, and he's got the goal.
The multitude of colours in the crowd has been incredible. That is because clubs and supporters for all teams are here watching the footy. It's amazing colour. Here's side bottom. How many's he had, Ash?
10 touches.
And make it 11. Little handball out in front of Pendlebury. How many, Ash?
Pendlebury's had 9.
Lipinski on the Nick Dacos miss. Mana score.
He's missed a couple too, Nick.
40 plays 31. 9-point Collingwood advantage. Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
What about that Scott Pendlebury handball?
Yeah, he might have slowed down a yard or two in pace, but not in mind.
Yeah, they've got permission to do it these days, so good players are flinging over their heads.
Plainer. Got a little one here, immediately tackled by Grundy. Umpire says, give it to me. This is Terry's boy, Brent Wallace, umpiring. Throws it up. Good umpire. Grundy knocked down. Little one along the ground there. Was from Warner. Picked up here by Collingwood McCreary. 55 metres out. Good looking ball to the advantage of Lipinski. Dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Tries to keep his feet. McCart, the real desperado. Went in Rampy. Got it under enormous pressure. McStay. Did he dispose of it? Umpire said no. Free kick Collingwood within 15.
He dropped the mark, McStay, and then followed it up and put a real good tackle on. He would have been disappointed at that. It was my check that come in and got it. I'm sorry, it was a great tackle. You love the big men in the forward 50 coming in and doing that sort of stuff, creating the turnovers and getting the goals.
Meyer check from 20. Bit of angle about it, just got to get it onto the boot neatly. And he has. So he gets his second. Collingwood get their third of the quarter. And all of a sudden the lead 46-31. Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, well, they're missing Lockie Schultz, Collingwood, who's their best forward 50 pressure player, but as we said, the tackle from Mycheck was brilliant. It was holding the ball. Rampy tried to spin and gave the fend off. That's the cue for the umpire, that if you don't get a legal disposal away after you make that action, that's classed as prior. And he didn't get rid of it cleanly, so it was always going to be Ping holding the ball. Well done by Pies.
Triple M Red Z lending stats, Jake. So another goal from stoppage. So 32 points already for the Magpies. The AFL average for an entire game is 35. Ned Long, he's up to 15 disposals. His PB's 24.
Yeah, 8 of those contested, 4 inside 50s. He's getting his hands on it.
Biggles, Bob Jane Seamarks.
And for the Pies, Dan McStay's come to the interchange bench. His work rate was a big power forward, as Roo mentioned. He came to the bench and he's absolutely gassed, having a run in the ruck, but his forward pressure for someone so big is enormous tonight.
Nice work by you, Biggles. Bob Jones T-Mart's got a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. And call or shop online today. 15-point lead. Collingwood having the better of this second term, but Sydney win the clearance. Haywood runs under the ball. Perryman by hand tries to exit defensive 50. Misses the target. Haywood has missed a couple of opportunities already. This time shares to Warner. Right forward pocket. Has a ping himself. And it was never looking like going through from there. A minor score. 46 plays 32, Triple M Titanium Caravan.
Maynard giving Warner a bit of a verbal blast there, but he's careful because he knows Warner can come back to bite him on the backside big time.
He wouldn't want to be chasing him, would he?
Yeah,
But Warner's always got a smile on his face, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Except after the grand final loss.
Yeah, well, not to snarl anyone up, Ruth. There's McCreary. Tucked it on the arm, took a bounce, got it inside 50. Elliott with the spring, knock ball. Here's Bobby, BJ, handball. Look at it. It's as slick as you can get. It's as slick as you can get. Sullivan kicks the goal. Bobby set it up. Collingwood have kicked 3 in a row, 4 for the quarter. They lead it by 21 points, the biggest margin of the game on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, having a big quarter, aren't they?
Yeah.
Collingwood getting their hands on the ball, 34-22. The kicking's gone up. They were poor with their kicking early, but up to 81% now, well above the AFL average.
And Sydney, it looks at Chu. It feels as if Sydney's pressure's dropped off in the second quarter. That's been a bit of an issue. Why probably Collingwood's skill and transition's been better.
Yeah, spot on. So Sydney were 210 at quarter time during the first term. It's dropped down to 190. Joey, sorry, make 139 this quarter. 139.
Wow. The pressure factor, Brewy's BT's favourite stat.
No one knows
loves
what
pressure
you mean,
factor.
Ash.
Well, when you say that...
What's boiling point?
The average is 180. So if you're 139, you're well below what you should be.
I just want to know what the end of the road is, Ruth.
What do you mean the end of the road?
The highest possible.
You're cooking at about 250.
There's no ceiling, BT.
It could be 1,000 technically, BT. If it got to that.
Anything with a 2 in front of it, you're going all right.
If it got to 1,000, it would do things to Ash Chua that are indescribable. Side bottom. Hill, front and centre! It's high and it's there. This is an onslaught from Collingwood in the second quarter. Hill's got his second. 9-4 plays 5-2. Pies are irresistible right now.
Yeah, Bobby Hill's having one of those games, ones that he bobs up where he is the best player on the ground. Haven't really seen too much of it so far this year. We've seen him do it in the grand final. We've seen him do it on the big stage. He's looking good and he's happy with himself.
He's not interested in the team meeting at the forward end. He's looking for replay only. Yeah, gotta love little Bobby.
Straight down.
Front and centre, side and centre. It's magnificent.
How efficient are Collingwood in this second quarter? They've had the 6 inside 50s. 5 goals, 1 every time the ball's gone in the forward 50, they've scored.
That is a good stat. Back to the middle we go with Mollison. Perfect bounce in the middle. Speaking of good, Henry was there, couldn't win it, put his player into the turf in Heaney. Rowbottom's head hit the deck, but he made the contact with it, and we'll have another ball up in the middle. Umpire throws it up. Grundy was there, the former Pie. Crisp is there, Long's going in, side bottom. Who's had the most touches on the ground, Ash?
Ned Long with 16 disposals, followed by side bottom with 13.
Let's work Ash on his go tonight, and that's against Grundy, and we'll go to Cameron.
And handball's off to Josh Dacos, who's on the move. They spring forward again, the Pies. Blakey fists it back and it rolls through for a rush behind. They've got the game right now, Joey, completely on their terms, Collingwood.
Yeah, they've got all the momentum. And what we say is important when you have momentum is putting the score on the board. No point having the momentum if you can't capitalise. And that's what Collingwood have been able to do at the moment. They've been able to capitalise with this momentum.
Lloyd to Blakey. Blakey at the Pepsi stand-in. We're calling it the Pepsi stand-in. They've got a raging discotheque up on the second floor. It just goes off its scone about now. All the youngies are in there. I see Roo trying to get in the other night. Confused entrance. And they've got 3 or 4 ravers in there just going off their brains.
Shoeman's desperate to get there later, BT.
Yeah, and it just goes off. They're up, bopping and hopping. It's unbelievable. And this is the end of where the ball is at the moment, which is the, I won't call it a river end, I'll call it a creek end.
Torrens end. Don't start getting snarly at Adelaide, BT.
They have pumped that much water into that creek this week to make it look like a river. It's not funny.
Beautiful river Torrens, Brian.
The river Torrens.
A lot cleaner than the Yarra.
Oh, and there's been shows in town. 360 degrees is here, 180, 220, 45. They're all here. They're all on. It's been just a pleasure to watch them all.
We'll have to sub him out at half time, I think, boys.
I think so.
90 degrees, of course, has been a real feature. Nick Dacos got the handball back to Pendlebury from the boundary line. A hard around the corner ball. Bobby was there. Offhand, side bottom. Tried to blast through. Quickly, Roberts got a quick ball out. If it goes to the boundary line, it might almost be deliberate. What will the umpire call here? Yeah. 80 metres away, Collingwood have got the free.
How funny is it now when you have to sprint to try and just get a fingernail on it so it won't get paid?
Yes.
But if you don't get a fingernail on it, it will get paid.
Yes.
Perryman sends it back in deep. Into the forward pocket. Pack forms. Side bottom against the boundary line. Arches the back. Gave a handball away instead. Myatt kicks his third. But it's touched.
Gee, they're on the ropes here, aren't they, a bit?
Hanging in there, just Sydney.
Of course, 90 degrees is Gerard just sitting sideways. Haven't seen him have one yet. Amadi went and got his own ball. Heaney's out the back. Oh, they're brushed. They're coming. Lipinski. McCreary walks it over the line. They're in shock here at the moment, Sydney. Pies are swarming all over them. Swooping like you haven't seen them before.
Gee, Amadi looks very ginger coming off. Rhett Bigler's keep an eye on the big fella. Thrown his mouth guard at the ground. It's not a good sign.
Important for them last week. Kick 4, Joel Amadi. Joey flagged it before the game. Now how they're going to kick a winning score.
Throwing the mouth guard is not a good sign.
No, that might be soft tissue, I think, but we'll get Biggles will be all over it.
Hammy on it, has it?
You'll find something weird with it.
Warner, his kick goes out of bounds. Biggles, Bob Jane Teamas, what's happening?
So he's just chatting with the docs at the moment. Hasn't really gestured to where the injury is. You can tell by his body language though he's got something. But Tom McCartan isn't right either, boys. You watch him. He normally plays high game time as a key defender, but he's way off the pace with any contest and nowhere near his agility after that heavy collision in the first term.
All over it, Biggles. Great work by you. 28-point lead to the Pies here. He's storming away with this game in the second quarter.
You're thinking Amadi is string or knee, or what are you thinking?
Look, he threw his mouth guard. He was angry. Let's have a look, see if we get a look here. He did have his hand on his right hamstring on the bench.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Here's Dacos. Maynard was there, ball over the line and out of bounds, Sydney's end of the ground. 32 plays 60, Collingwood's way. We're just watching the Amadi replay again here.
Dan Brody, hit the meter.
On the Harvey Norman replay.
Can't tell anything from that footage.
I'm going with a hammy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Boundary throw in. Sydney's end, Grundy, palm down to Heaney was excellent, but have a look at them swarm over Heaney. 4 of them. Grundy somehow won it out. Miraculous little win it was. Ball spills loose. Picked up here by Warner.
Nice.
Tory around the corner and he kicks the goal. And a much needed one from Sydney. Triple M scoreboard, 9-6-60 Collingwood, Sydney, 6-2-38 on the Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, fair to say they needed that, Sydney. That was the one to wrestle back just a little bit of momentum. Now they can reset, get themselves organised from an interchange perspective with their setup and just see if they can now try and get their own momentum and wrestle it back and play some game in their forward half because they were doing a lot of work in their back 50 for a big period there. He's been good play this year, Corey Warner. Talk about steak knives, a bit of a thought that he just came along as Chad's brother, but he's actually been able to play some pretty good footy this year, signed a 2-year extension. That was an important finish.
Third goal of the season. Back to you, Biggles. Bob Jane Teamarts.
Yeah, so Marty's gone down to the rooms. He was limping and looked like a hamstring. He's gone down with the doctors, and you can see the sub, Angus Sheldrick, warming up right now.
As Heaney comes flying out of the middle. Sends it inside Sydney's attacking area. Dacos rose on the crumbs. That's Josh Dacos. He's working his way into the game after a slow start. His handball is wide of Jeremy Howe, and it's out of bounds. 50 out from Sydney's goal.
Not a real like-for-like, though, Angus Sheldrick and Joel Amati. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dean Cox rejigs his forward line, Ruin.
They got a bit of height. They got a bit of height there, though, haven't they? Marty McLean and Laddams there as well.
22-point lead Collingwood here. We've got still a good 11 minutes before the half-time break. Plenty left in this quarter. Bit of a slider in there.
Stop eating the Hague's freckles, BT.
To Blakey. Blakey, a shivering ball up towards half forward. Spills to ground, picked up by Nick Dacos, kept the arm free brilliantly. Bobby, a left little touch. What a magnificent ball to Chris. Over to Long, had to high jump one. And he got caught, taking him on here, and free kick will go the way of Wicks and Rowbottom. Rowbottom out wide, sends them into attack here, Sydney through Heaney.
22 points they trail by at the moment. Heaney trying to punch a hole in that deficit, was patient. He waited and waited and waited for Hayward to get open. And he found him 30 out, 45-degree angle.
Well, we've already spoken about the fact that he's missed a couple of shots and he needs to go back and convert this one. Ned Long, he's been great, but he's tried to do a fraction too much there. Probably didn't realise he had a couple of Sydney boys right around him.
Sometimes, and there's been a few other occasions where he hasn't given it when he should have. I reckon in this game already. I don't know whether he's been given a licence to go.
Still finding his level.
Grill, baby, grill.
Sydney for 2 in a row. Hayward kicks it. He's missed a couple tonight already, but that one counts. And all of a sudden, it's back to a very manageable 16-point deficit, I should say, Triple M, Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, well, we saw this last night with the Adelaide Crows. They looked like they were in complete control through the middle part of the second quarter, and Geelong were able to kick a couple late and regroup at half-time and rejig. But Sydney, it's been off the back of Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner. Heaney's scored 5 disposals, 3 clearances. He set up that goal, and he's been busy, as Joel Amati, it looks like.
Bob Jane T. Martins.
Yeah, subbed out. Joel Amati, terrible news for the Sydney Swans. He's gone to the back of the dugout, and their sub, Angus Sheldrick, has come onto the field.
Let us know when the ice goes on, Biggles.
Hasn't done it yet. He's sort of sitting there dejected, but hasn't really wrapped the ice on just yet, Rupert.
Top it off with a stat, please, Chua.
Yeah, so Pies only concede 31 points from turnover, ranked 1 defensively. They've already conceded 31, and we haven't even hit half-time.
Oh, Ash going after the Pies. What's wrong with Ash? Little knockdown Cameron. Grundy went around the back to handball. No one there, no one home. Pendlebury got bowled over. Sydney look a little more urgent here to me. Goes out line towards Hanley. Soccer off the ground there from Maynard to keep it rolling forward was effective. And we'll have a throw it in neutral territory on the wing.
Sydney's pressure too the last 10 minutes. Seems to have cranked up a little bit.
Spot on, Joey. They're going at 220. One stage 139 during this term.
Wow.
That's impressive, Brian. That's a big percentage lift in pressure.
Collingwood by 16 points. Heaney got dragged aground. Road bottom like a ferret underneath, went hard at it, ball in dispute. Collingwood penalty, pushed it to side bottom wheeled around in a 180, gave it to the big fella Cameron to Maynard, smothered off the boot. Heaney back to Grundy, needs to pick it up, he was careful, Dacos was coming at him. Sydney win the ball, here they go with Wicks.
It's a good win too. Wicks has to put it out into space, didn't really have a lot to work with ahead. Laddams was bodied off the ball. Nice work by Frampton, the side bottom. From left half back, kicks up the line, nobody home, except for Riley Bice. What 18 months this young man has had from winning the Ovington Murray Best and Fairest to the VFL and now playing AFL.
Yeah,
incredible story. The diamond in the rough. As was Dane Rampy, taken from the rookie draft. Laddams flew high at the back. Heaney inside bottom, engaged in a wrestle. 16-point lead, Pies.
Makes a difference when your list managers can pluck one of them out.
Yeah.
Or the recruiting guys.
Coming that way.
Ready-made players.
One of the best kicks to come out of the VFL, and he's done that straight away at AFL level.
What's a good recruiter get paid these days? Any idea, Roo?
Well, there's full-timers and there's part-timers and there's guys that just love it and get paid hardly anything.
Maynard, that's probably a non-answer.
Well,
Long.
your head guys on a couple hundred.
All we need is Rampy. Squeezed the trigger on a handball to Florent. Florent could have gone inboard, did to Wicks. Wicks got it here to Hanley. Hanley from the point of the square at half forward. Got it long and deep in the back was Laddams. Looked like he was had no idea, to tell you the truth. And now the ball in dispute. Maynard was there, soccer off the ground. And it'll be a boundary throw in deep in Sydney's attack zone as Laddams looks confused.
Probably haven't had a pay rise like the assistant coaches with a cut and soft cap since COVID, Brian.
Right. And throw in, he'll end. Laddams gave a good old-fashioned push in the back. And that'll be a free kick.
It's sloppy Laddams, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like that sometimes, isn't he? He has patches like that.
Well, that's just stupid. Have a look at that. Hands in the back and shoved him. What was he thinking? How did he think he was going to get away with that?
And then he threw the hands up in the air as if he couldn't believe it.
I'm sure he always thinks.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Grundy first after the footy, out of side wing. And Lloyd was forced to kick hurriedly, high up and under ball. Umpire said he'll pay a mark. Bashed away from Blakey and doubles back, wins the footy, and always looking for an aggressive kick. That one was smart, careful, and onto the chest of Florent on the wing.
Right on the Toyota logo here is Ollie Florent. Slows it up. Beautiful cooling breeze coming across this ground at the moment. Wafting straight into our box.
Was that a hint to shut the window? Or?
No, it's good. I love it.
You love it?
Rue's taking up most of it. There is the big fella. Frampton. Half back. How many's he had, Frampton, Ash?
Frampton, just the 4 touches.
Big, tall defender down there. Goes up there looking for Membry. Got under the ball. So did McStay. Grundy's been sensational tonight. Ash, tell us a little bit about him.
15 disposals, leading ball winner. And his hit-out speed, he's had 20, but 7 of those to advantage. Very efficient.
Crisp has been caught here. And
Clear it out, Will.
the Bice. What's his name?
Outside 5.
Bice.
Miami Bice, yep.
Bice has got it at the wing.
Play on.
Bice, little left footer. Florence again is having a cracking game as well.
What are his numbers, two-man? Ollie Florent?
Disposal number 13, 75% by foot.
Red Zed Lending. 5.5 minutes before half-time. Collingwood lead by 16 points. Ball ricochets off the pack. At the side of it was Josh Dacos. He's got Lloyd bearing down on him. Right forward pocket. Umpire calls for it.
But a great little fight back here from Sydney. They've lifted their intensity. They're controlling the game now. They've got it on their terms.
Come on that way.
Now let's see if they can just jag another 1 or 2 late in this second quarter.
They've kicked the last 2. They trailed by 28 points. And it looked as though things were getting away from them. Now this is a Sydney free kick.
Come off your hands.
Out of the ruck, it was hit out of bounds
on the full.
Yeah.
But Darcy Cameron is adamant that it was deflected off Hayden McLean. And when you look at the Harvey Norman replay, it's too hard. If that was an NBL decision, they'd go to the score review to check out who's got the sideline ball. Yet this umpire was adamant that it was against Darcy Cameron.
So it'll be Hayden McLean, who's already kicked a goal tonight.
Look at the number of different colours in the grandstand there. There was so many different teams.
And start his run up from the forward pocket. Hayden McLean, what a finish! He's second of the night. That was sensational. 3 in a row, Sydney. That's back to 10 points.
Well, as soon as we spoke about Collingwood dominating route, Sydney have had the last 6 inside 50s for 3 goals.
Yeah,
and got themselves right back into it.
Isaac Ennis had a big second quarter, 7 disposals, 6 of those contested, 4 clearances, 3 inside 50s, but a great kick from the big fella.
Right. Amazing amount of colours out there, Rue.
Well, a lot of different Guernseys, I meant, in the first couple of rows. The crowd, Brian, just going along with your theme of all the... That's why it's full tonight. It's not just Collingwood.
I know, but
and Sydney supporters.
Right, that's why
the Crows
are murmuring rather than
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about wearing a different team's jersey to a game? So you're watching Collingwood Sydney, you wear your Essendon top? No problem.
Good.
Yeah.
My kids that have 30 jumpers at home, all different teams from all around Australia. I don't care which one they wear. Happy to wear anything. Anyway.
Yeah.
Probably. I couldn't give a shit. Dacos really Jordan just wear something.
What do they just flip-flop, do they?
Yeah, they flip-flop depending on who's playing and who's trendy at the time.
Oh, there you go. No, you can't do that.
No, they do, but they barrack for the same team.
Who do they barrack for, your kids?
They've
Jump on the bandwagon.
Essendon, a Richmond and a couple of Collingwoods. So they're all there about opportunity here. We saw Michael Long today.
You said they were grown-ups, your kids.
Yeah, they are. We saw Michael Long today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did see Michael
We
Long.
saw Mickey O Promotions, Mickey O'Loughlin.
Mickey O'Loughlin, great fella, Mickey O.
Great fella.
Well, when you go to 4 functions in a day, you can end up into something.
This was all at the one.
Long. Little one here. Knocked by Blakey. Heaney. Tough as an old Fraser. Then he got bailed up there by Maynard.
Yeah, put a bit of extra on top of that. Maynard just really put him into the ground.
Shall I ask what an old Fraser is?
No.
Rabs is saying don't. 10 point. Collingwood lead. Still 4 minutes left in this quarter. It's been high scoring. Sydney are fighting hard. Thrown up inside the centre square. Pendlebury had it, then lost it. Sheldrick, the sub, ripped it free from him, and then Heaney tried to chisel the ball on the left foot. It fell short. Darcy Moore handballs back. Howe labours after it. Quaynor a little nervous over it as well. Now the Swans start to arrive. Hanley to Warner. Squares it back into the corridor. Heaney couldn't get a look at it. Thought there should have been a free kick. Campbell stood up in a handball. Back to McLean for his third. He misses.
Probably had more time than he realised there, McLean. Just rushed it and pulled it across his body.
Collingwood looking all at sea at the moment, I've got to say. Lost their confidence. 3:34 to go in the half. It has been a how many goal quarter, Ash? I think it's been about 9 collectively kicked in this quarter.
Spot on, BT.
The goal frenzy continues. Nick Dacos went on without the ball. Little handball came out here to Laddams, I think it was. He doesn't know where he's going, so how can the opposition possibly know? High footy here. I think it almost hit in the head there. Campbell, and it will go to him now. Campbell 55 metres out from his goal. Sydney are coming. They've kicked the last 3. Campbell's going to drive this long and deep to the top of the square. McLean's there. Frampton dropped the mark he should have taken. Quaynor got rid of it. He got it onto Pendlebury. Pendlebury out the back. Mark taken. Rampy dropped high on, says the umpire.
Collingwood can try and spring forward. They've got some numbers ahead of the ball, but Sullivan misses Dacos. And it'll be a Pies free kick for a friend off, and they've taken the advantage. Hoskin Elliott snuck out the back door at left half forward. Membry on the lead. Can mark.
Schumann, how long's it been since Collingwood's last inside 50?
Almost 17 minutes.
Wow.
Sydney have had the previous 8 entries.
It hasn't been there this end ever since BT was talking about the Pepsi nightclub that was going on.
Yeah, Chu got excited. He's definitely dressed for the occasion. Membry to the hot spot. It stayed the target, almost marked. Elliott off the pack, snaps and goals. Something out of nothing for Collingwood. And it's back to a 16-point lead once again. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
No, you can't leave Jamie Elliott front and centre. Just an easy shot for him. They needed that, Collingwood, just a settler.
How often do we see it? The ball lives down one end of the ground and then you go down for the first time and you get an opportunity to get a good look inside 50. And this is what happens these days because all the players want to fly and help intercept in the air. And when they do that, the clever smalls know.
Look at the tats down there, Joey.
There's a lot. That is FC.
I've never seen so much.
Looks like Barwon prison. Tats everywhere.
Bloody amazing. That forward line, if you haven't got one, you can't get in.
Yeah, it's a good point. McCreary, was it? There was McCreary, Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott, Membry. Yeah.
So back out to a 16-point lead, as Jack Heverin just mentioned, for the Magpies. And here's a warning against Sydney for the 6-6-6-6.
Do you like the warning, Brian?
No. Pay the free kick. It's time now.
It's only been 5 years.
Yep. Umpire Andre Gianfagna with 2 minutes left in this first half. The ball up. Out the back door it came. Dacos. A hopeful handball work to Cameron. Sold the little fakey out to the right. Comes back to Perryman. Perryman now goes high and forward. In front was Elliott, knocked away from him by Rampy. Blakey arrives, little side-winding handball, got it out there. And here they go, Swans again. But Perryman's able to repel the attack.
And Sydney are trying to stream back en masse, so Perryman looks up and has just got a sea of bodies inside forward 50. Short to Lipinski. His kick was good. Darcy Cameron marks just inside the boundary line, right forward pocket.
That's kickable.
Inside left goalpost here, Root.
Inside the left, you reckon it's going to be a little bit of left to right?
I think so.
Just go right at the middle, I reckon. I don't reckon that he's that dead-eye, is he?
Game number 100 tonight for Darcy Cameron.
I think it's just a hit and hope.
Career set shots, 73%. Might just get out of the way of you too.
There it is. It's a hit and hope.
It's out to the right, and that's where it stays. Collingwood by 17 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
There are little nuances at every ground when kicking for goal.
There are.
If you see a lot of football, you sort of pick them up. But I guess the players don't see enough to know what they are, because they're rarely at grounds like this. High footy. Frampton. Pendlebury. Little left footer finds Sullivan. How's he gone tonight, Ash? Sullivan
for Triple M Red ZBT. Yes. 10 touches and a goal.
Right. Look at this. The defensive attitude here from Sydney was great. Warner was involved initially. Maynard had to go hard. He went like a mangy dog. Won the ball, but then coughed it up. It's a big ball to be won in the middle now. They're crashing in. Sydney through Heaney. Get it.
His kick might just fall short. Laddams was playing from behind.
Dean Cox will be losing his mind.
What they would give for a key forward out there tonight, Sydney. 17 points. They trail by at half-time. Collingwood 10-7-67. Sydney 8-2-50. Friday night footy at the Adelaide Oval for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks gather round.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks gather round.
hot water needs replacing? Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Charlie, you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You've won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry. Still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Have you ever dreamed of having the world's best Italian-made tiles in your home? Right now at National Tiles, select any one of our 17 very popular standard range tiles and we'll upgrade you to the world's very best Italian-made tiles absolutely free, saving you a massive $4,000 on an average 80 square metre order. Yes, have the world's best Italian-made tiles and depending on quantity, save up to $4,000 or more. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
From just $23,888, the MG ZST Vibe combines style and safety. The compact, sporty SUV comes with our industry-leading 10-year warranty, giving you peace of mind on every drive. Visit your local MG dealership today. T's and C's apply.
Time now for some more hot dates.
Bunnings can help you get ready for the Easter break. From completing those DIY projects to setting up to entertain. Check out their wide range in-store or online at bunnings.com.au.
Hot dates.
At Wild Bean Cafe, you'll get delicious golden chicken bites for only $1 each. You'll love them, but be quick. Everyone else will love them too. Available at participating BP stores. Wild Bean Cafe drives you cravey.
Hot dates. Pencil them in.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre, the wearable sensor that monitors glucose levels straight to your phone. Trial it now for only $15 at freestylelibre.com.au. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use.
There are two Harvey Norman Seconds Worlds in Sydney, Penrith and Auburn, selling fridges, washers, TVs, cooking and small appliances, dryers and freezers, carton damage, superseded factory seconds, run-out models, X-displays, all stock to be sold at silly prices. Harvey Norman Seconds World, 2 locations, Penrith and 103 Parramatta Road, Auburn. Bring a truck, bring a trailer, bring your money. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Harvey Norman Seconds World.
Do you DFO? Win a share of $50,000 in DFO gift cards. To enter, visit DFO Homebush, purchase your best bargain in centre and tell us all about it. Those in the know, DFO. See homebush.dfo.com.au for T's and C's, purchase exclusions and more.
Your local LDV dealer has a powerful new T60 Max Ute waiting for you. Right now, get the 160 kilowatt T60 Max Pro Auto, backed by a 7-year warranty, and get a massive saving of $4,000 off, now from just $36,990 drive away for ABN holders. But hurry, there's limited stock available and this offer won't last long. Visit a dealer today. LDV. Bring it on. New stock vehicles only, excluding MY25 and plus models. T's and C's at ldvautomotive.com.au.
If you've had your power tools pinched, Flex Tools are stepping up to the plate. Head to flextoolfix.com.au and tell us your story. You could win a 9-piece Flex 24-volt kit. Search flextoolfix.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks gather round.
Oh my God, we're back again.
This halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
6 goals from Collingwood in that second quarter gives them a 17-point lead at halftime here at the Adelaide Oval. The halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today, Mark Rasciuto. Here at Gather Round at the Adelaide Oval. Good second quarter from the Pies, but the Swans are just still in touching distance.
Yeah, they are. They were on the ropes there for a while, weren't they, in that second quarter? 10 goals, 5 for the second quarter as well. High-scoring game again here at Adelaide Oval, similar to last night. Got a bit of that feel about it again, hasn't it? So Sydney just hanging around, but Isaac Heaney, very strong quarter, ended up with 10 disposals, and Ned Long, he's had another 9 in the second quarter, but Collingwood looking the goods.
When they're at their best, Collingwood, when they've got the game on their terms, Roo, what does it look like? What does Collingwood at their best look like?
Well, tonight they're winning the clearances, they're getting in tight, and they're getting the ball from the inside. So they've been pretty much in top in that department. When Sydney getting it on the outside with a bit of their speed and moving the ball forward, that's when they've looked at their best. So, yeah, it's a great game. Can't pick a winner at this stage.
Sydney, on the other hand, they have had their chances going inside 50. You mentioned it just before half-time that it's that last piece. They can get the ball inside 50, but they're just not getting marks inside 50.
Well, Amati is out with what we think is a hamstring. Have we had that confirmed yet, guys? He went off, he got subbed off, he threw his mouth guard. You could tell he was angry. He got subbed out straight away. So then saw Laddams up there. He got caught napping and had an intercept mark taken on him. So Peter Laddams is going to have to be a bit of tall timber up forward there with McLean.
So do you go another way with it potentially? Do you go with a smaller sort of setup or base it around Isaac Heaney in the second half?
Look, he's going to have to play time up there, but he's just going to have to compete and bring it to the ground. You can't get caught out like he did in when the boys have worked in the midfield to get it down there and then just turn it over. So the forward line coach will be talking to him and making sure he's a bit focused and switched on.
Looks like confirmation of a hamstring for Joel Amati as well. We're just getting word coming through. Man, what are the numbers? Tell us for Red Z Lending from the first half.
Well, as Rue spoke about the stoppages, Collingwood are plus 111 to 6 out of the centre, but they've kicked 39 points from stoppage. The AFL average is 35 for an entire game. But the positives for Sydney, they've actually kicked 25 points from their back half. Collingwood only concede 21 per game, ranked number 1 defensively. And they started to win the territory battle as well, the Swans. They had 9 out of the last 12 inside 50s. They kicked 3 straight to the Magpies, 1-1. They really ramped up their pressure as well during the back half of that second term. It went at 2-13. Front half of that second quarter is only at 1-39. And just individually, Isaac Heaney, champion data, have him as the number 1 rated player on the ground. 16 disposals, 4 centre clearances, 6 inside 50s and a major. Grundy 14, 21 hitouts, 7 of those to advantage. 13 apiece to Florent and Chad Warden for the Magpies. You mentioned Longru with 19 touches and 6 clearances. Sidebottom's had 18. He's going at 45% by foot.
Gee, they're so reliant on Heaney and Warner, though, aren't they? Which is a little bit unhealthy. I guess, they're just so bigger players and so, they're such big superstars. You can't help but hope they're going to play well. You want those guys to play well, but gee, without them, they can drop away pretty quick.
Particularly without Errol Goulden as well.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done there. The Amy Clanger at half-time. When clangers happen, it's lucky that you're with Amy. This one sort of just had BT a little bit mixed up. Rhett Biglan's down on the boundary for Bob Jane Teamarts tonight.
Yeah, both teams still in their huddles, but right on quarter time, veteran Dane Rampy for the Swannies had a really nasty cut in between his eyes. They had to patch him up on the bench, so he's got a few stitches in that. He should be okay.
I'm interested in what that looks like, Biggers, between the eyes. What cut from eye to eye, or a bad one? Or
it was up and down. It's a vertical one there, BT, so that goes up and down.
Right. Very cryptic messages we're getting from the fella down there on the bench today with back exercises and now a up and down slit from the nostril to the brain.
I think he might have enjoyed Thursday night footy at Adelaide Oval, our boundary rider. Rhett Biglan's, we love having him on board.
What about when he said that's up to down, Brian, just in case you're not aware what vertical is?
There's no love lost there between those two.
Half-time here at the Adelaide Oval, thanks to Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds. Specsavers hearing experts are the ones to go to.
Just saw Big Brian demolish a pie out there too in record time. Lots of sauce. And a very hard ball get from Brian.
Two-man's got the clock on that one for Red Z Lending. Half-time at the Adelaide Oval. It's the Pies by 17 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks gather round.
Safety and savings at Bob Jane Teamarts. Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumho tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get $150 instant cash back on selected tyres plus a free e-gift card up to $200 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich or Michelin tyres. Bob Jane Teamarts won't be beaten with their best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane Teamarts, they'll look after you. Visit bobjane.com.au or call 132625. T's and C's apply.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Surely you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You've won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Have you ever dreamed of having the world's best Italian-made tiles in your home? Right now at National Tiles, select any one of our 17 very popular standard range tiles and we'll upgrade you to the world's very best Italian-made tiles absolutely free, saving you a massive $4,000 on an average 80 square metre order. Yes, have the world's best Italian-made tiles and depending on quantity, save up to $4,000 or more. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Now's the time to try something new. Cooper's Dry 3.5, a low-carb, mid-strength lager. Light and easy drinking with a crisp and refreshing finish. Go on, give it a try. Get it at your local and chuck it in your fridge.
The first ever NRLW Magic Round heads to McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. Your only chance to see every NRLW game in person over one entertaining weekend of footy and fun for the whole family. Newcastle will come alive as the Festival of Footy kicks off on Saturday the 2nd of August and the party vibes continuing Sunday the 3rd. This is the ultimate rugby league event you won't want to miss. Grab your NRLW Magic Pass today at nrl.com/tickets. On May 9th, we're going blue for Do It for Dolly Day. Blue on the farm. Blue at the beach. Blue in the bush. Blue to spark conversations about bullying and remind every young person they're not alone. Blue to raise awareness for today and funds for tomorrow. So let's come together to go blue to end bullying. Register at doitfordollyday.org.au.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors. Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. Gorilla Glue. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
These are Sydney's best buys.
Tradies, save up to 25% on your next landscaping job with a Flower Power Trade membership. Apply online at flowerpower.com.au. We deliver everything, everywhere, 7 days a week.
Best buys.
For answers to your legal questions, hear it from someone who knows. Amy Dale from the Law Society of New South Wales hosts Lawfully Explained. Hear it at lawfullyexplained.com.au.
Best buys. Bye-bye.
Calling all outdoor enthusiasts. 4-Wheel Drive Supercentre is now open in Greenacre, home to the famous Adventure Kings brand. Join the grand opening celebrations all weekend at 51 Roberts Road, Greenacre, opposite Bunnings. Enjoy family entertainment, opening specials, giveaways for the first 100 and more. Plus, see our all-new interactive lifestyle displays. Our friendly team will help build your dream setup. 4-Wheel Drive Supercentre, Greenacre, now open. The Discount Kings will always get you out there for less.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks gather round.
Oh my God, we're back
Again, this quarter for Beacon Trade. They've got the downlights, fans and switches. Whatever the project, they've got you covered. Beacon Trade. Let's make life work.
Half-time at the Adelaide Oval. Collingwood 10-7-67. Leading Sydney 8-2-50. The half-time break for Specsavers Audiology. Joey Montagna, Mark Rasciuto, Jack Heverin, Brian Taylor, Ash Stewart, Rhett Bigland's your team for Friday night footy. And Joey, for Choice Hotels around the grounds, we are headed off to the Barossa tomorrow.
We are, aren't we? And looking forward to that game. First of all, looking forward to getting out to the Barossa. There's a great vibe out there and a brand new venue that will be the 51st AFL VFL game to be played at a different venue, and it's going to be interesting, the game. Two-Man was just asking me as a North Melbourne supporter what I think, and look, the best way you could say it is, what's more likely, Jack? North Melbourne causing an upset or Gold Coast potentially winning by 8-9 goals? That's there as the extremes it could go. You probably think more likely is Gold Coast could blow them out the water, but I'd love to see North Melbourne play at their very best, be competitive, and be in the game and a chance to win, because that's what we're starting to think they should be at. I suppose what we don't know is how good the Gold Coast Suns are really yet. We think they're pretty good, and we expect them to. This year will finally be the year they play finals, but they've got to do it again, and I think they're in pretty good shape.
How committed are you to the Gold Coast at this stage? Are you ready to push the chips in on them?
I'm not all in yet, because we've even seen, say, with the Crows, that a couple of weeks ago everyone was all in. They've lost their last two. Want to hold a bit of fire still for a bit more into the season, but I think the way they're playing, it looks as if Damien Hardwick's just given them a bit more of that harder edge, a bit more resilience about them. They don't fold as easily as they have in previous years. They've got another year of the system, and these leaders are playing at an elite level. So right now, we've seen this before a little bit with Gold Coast, start well early in the year and drop off, but maybe it's just a different Gold Coast.
And savvy recruiting too. Daniel Rioli and John Noble into this team to just give them punch and drive off half.
Yeah, targeting recruiting, I think, is the key when you've got a list that's rebuilding, and we've seen the Adelaide Crows do it, and now Gold Coast as well. Just a flow-on effect. It's not just bringing in a player or two to your team. It's what it does for some other players that can move positions. And we've seen Lockie Weller go up to a wing, and Connor Butterick and some other guys. Ben Long's now moved forward. He's been excellent since midway through last year as a small forward. So a lot to like about the Suns.
Where did it fall apart for North Melbourne last week?
Their pressure in there. I watched the game during the week, again, the North Melbourne-Sydney. When teams play a team defence, you can sometimes fall in the trap of not really defending but just guarding space. And it looked like they did that, and Sydney just picked their way through them. There's got to be, like we saw with Geelong, the difference in their team defence from the first half to the second half last night. When a team is transitioning the footy and you're sort of zoning an area, you have to still try and intercept the ball and go at the man with it, whether it's in the air or they've got ball, and try and tackle them and force turnovers. And North Melbourne just didn't try and force enough turnovers for me. They just allowed Sydney to sort of pick their way through. So that's going to be the start. And then off the back of your defence, if you can turn the ball over, you get easy looks on offence. The rest comes. But that'll be something I'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow.
Carlton and West Coast here at the Adelaide Oval. Joey's already said that West Coast cannot win, that Carlton absolutely cannot lose. What did you think of the Tim Kelly omission?
I loved it. I thought it's a great statement from a young coach that He's not going to stand for it. Doesn't matter your reputation. If you're not living up to the standards, you won't be in the team. And I think he learned a lesson from what St Kilda and Ross Lyon did 2008. He made a statement to drop Milne and Del Santo.
That's right.
Who were multiple All-Australians. And from that moment on, we went on after that to, I think, win 50 of our next 60 games from mid-2008 to 2011 because Ross had dropped the bomb and said, I don't care your reputation or your standing or your accolades. If you don't buy in, you will not play. And our standards went to another level, and I'm thinking McQualter is hoping to get something similar.
What does it say about Tim Kelly? Because there'll be some that would say, if you can't get a game for the worst team in the competition, where are you at?
Well, it's not about getting a game, because he could easily run around and get 15, 20 touches. It's more what he's doing without the ball, and he's spoken of his challenges of losing motivation, because it is hard when you're a senior player playing in a losing team. You've got to change your mindset. You're not playing to win anymore. You're playing to develop other kids and set a standard and set a culture, and that actually takes a bit of selflessness. And if you don't have that, ingrained in you, it can be hard to lead the way, and you start thinking about yourself and, it's a bit too hard, and does it really matter? We're not going to be winning a premiership anyway. And then you get the situation that's happened with him. So maybe it's hopefully a little kick up the backside for him, and he bounces back.
Third quarter not too far away, and with thanks to Beacon Trade, while you're backing your footy team, Beacon Trade has got your next project covered. Fans, downlights for any install, plus a massive range of lighting and even free lighting design services to help nail the big jobs. Back yourself with the best lighting and electrical for residential jobs. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work. Great partners of ours here on Triple M Footy. Biggles, what's happening for Bob Jane Teamarts downstairs?
Yeah, for Sydney, so some terrible news moving for the next couple of weeks in particular with Joel Amati. It's a right hamstring. We can see that iced up now on the interchange bench. It's got a severe limp up as well. So he had a really severe injury back in 2023 to that right hamstring also. So you'd suggest moving forward, that's a 2 to 3 week minimum for him, which is not great news at all.
No, not good. And another injury for Sydney, which is a list that's already got Taylor Adams, Harry Cunningham, Robbie Fox, Errol Gordon, Justin McInerney, Callum Mills, Tom Papley, Lewis Melican, all unavailable at the moment.
It's starting to take its toll, and we maybe saw a little bit of it in that second quarter, that if you just don't have enough contributors, it makes it so hard to win. I mean, Heaney, Grundy, Florin and Warner have really done all they can. They've been excellent, those four, but after that it's sort of dropped away a little bit. The forwards have bobbed up at times, but they're going to need a weight of numbers effort to win this. They're going to need a lift from everybody and do it collectively, because Collingwood have had a better spread. Their mids have been great, the forwards have looked dangerous, and some of their defenders have been able to win intercepts.
First 5 minutes of the third quarter, Mark Rashudo. What are you looking for from Sydney?
Well, they want to continue how they finished off and get in and win some ball, get it down to the forwards, keep it in there. Grundy, good in the first half. Heaney, really big second quarter. Time to get it done now. Get the confidence up in this third quarter. Get some runs on the board.
Collingwood have won their last 9 at the Adelaide Oval by an average of 18 points, and they're in a winning position as we start the third quarter for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water.
Nick Dacos.
No.
Holding Dacos, Collingwood.
Probably spoke about that at half time. You think the umpires? Just keep an eye on Nick Dacos getting held off the ball.
Well, Josh Dacos, he's been shut right down. He's only had the 5 disposals from half-back. Braden Campbell doing a good job.
Dacos, long kick to McCreary. The mark's just outside range. Unguarded, was able to run another 5 metres and drive long. Sydney haven't knocked this ball over just yet. Membry dodged the first tackle. Hoskin Elliott back to Lipinski. Snaps from the pocket. Elliott with the fly. The
other move that is interesting, Roo, is Warner. I see starting deep forward as well for Sydney to try and collate some sort of score.
Yeah, that is an interesting start. Maybe they're just going to rotate him and Heaney through there. They might need a bit of firepower up forward now with the injury to Amati.
Rampy, back pocket.
But you do have to get it down there first, Brian.
Yep, you do. Nice ball by Rampy outlined to McLean.
He needs a big second half, McLean, without Amati.
Nice mark he took there. Under some Darcy Moore pressure, who's starting to find his form as well, I might add. So McLean to centre half forward. It's a chipping method of getting there. Grundy punches it into a hole at centre half forward. Picked up in the end, little handball from Jordan. Kick goes into Florin. Florin around the corner. Hayward, right foot snap. Too much purchase on it. Golden opportunity squandered by the talented Hayward. Minor score 51-68 in favour of the Palms.
1 goal, 3 for... Well, he's had 4 shots on goal, but only got the 1 goal out of the 4 shots, so a bit disappointed, Will. Could have straightened up, but I guess players love kicking around the corners. It's just Bert. That's Brian. Ash, was that you?
I'm always your default when it comes to that sort of stuff.
We're pretty sure we know who it was.
When you inhale a village pie with sauce at half time.
Rue warned us about the indigestion you were going to have in this third quarter.
He's Collingwood taking the advantage. Side bottom, clever kick, put it out on the path of Elliott.
Oh, just about dropped it.
And he runs on and marks 45 out.
How often does it happen when you miss a goal you should kick and it goes straight down the other end?
Still side bottoms numbers tonight, too, man. Red's Edge.
Equal leading ball winner on the ground, 19 disposals, 420 metres gained, 9 score involvements.
Impressive.
Can't believe he burped on air, Ash.
No, right. Tidy things up.
Deplorable behaviour. Elliott for his second. He kicks to the hill end. It just misses. It hits the post.
We've got a cough button up here. We just haven't got a burp button.
Well, I did read it, and as Ash was doing that, I was going to press his cough button. Little kick by Blakey. Just finds Foreign, but it's not marked over the line out of bounds. So I'll throw it in here, Collingwood, at their half-forward line. I reckon Sydney are 10 minutes away from being sunk or in the game. If Collingwood can put 10 minutes of good footy together and collect 2 or 3 goals, the game is over. However, it is on a nice edge now. Game to be won and lost right now, I reckon. Crisp, little knockdown here. Long was there. Grundy's able to pick it up, feed it to the running Blakey. Through centre half back, didn't allow him to get boot on ball. Made him handle it. Good tackle in the middle by Darcy Moore. Sensational tackle it was on Roberts. Or Campbell it was. And Darcy Moore wins the free at centre half forward.
It's had a good start to the year, Joey, Darcy Moore.
Yeah, he's playing much better than he did last season.
He kicks long and direct. Elliott can't get a look at it. Grundy back. He's having some sort of night.
We don't usually see that from Brady Grundy.
No.
It's not normally his go, but that's exactly what he needs to do.
It's his former team. He's having a big impact.
Well, that's his first mark for the night.
That's like 5.
Little mark here, taken by Bice. Kicks out wide. Keep it aligned through the bit of Lloyd to Florence. Florence completes the mark at half back. No ground made here, though, by Sydney.
It's a 5v2 on this side of the ground, BT. They've got to switch it.
Yep, and they're doing just that now. So it comes to Grundy in the opposing half-back line, and he spots up and finds an opportunity here with Hamling. And he takes the mark, but it doesn't get through.
Nah, it just wasn't in the right players' hands, was it? Grundy and Hamling, and not quite Blakey and Bice, so they weren't able to take advantage of it.
Well, Hamling now goes down the line as he should. Off hands beautifully roved by Sidebottom. Got it to the left-footed Crisp. Crisp kept it alive to a one-on-one. Membry and Blakey was there. Went over the top. Handball will come back, or will it not?
Gee.
Into a big sea of Collingwood players here. They've got to work hard, Sydney. James Jordan did well. Josh Dacos was there. Stolen by Wicks. Handball away. Sydney in control. Rowbottom.
His kick was fisted out of bounds by Frampton.
Some of the decision-making, Joey, is just not right at the moment. There's some kicking to 50-50s on a short leg, kicking long down the line when there's no tool there.
It's a difference between which players, the playmakers, whether they get it in dangerous spots, or it's the guys in defence you don't really want kicking the ball.
Mark Prosciutto, Joey Montagna on Triple M footy for Seabus Super. Making hard work pay off. 18-point lead of the Pies. Warner with some time and space. He's 60 metres out from goal. Could have gone himself. Instead, pulls it back into the corridor. His brother had to fly for the mark. Lipinski got a little kick on. It's not 15 to Sullivan. Told to play on. Josh Dacos, Perryman, Sullivan. Now they're away.
Brilliant handballing there from Collingwood to get out of the trouble. And Lipinski with a party trick. Left foot quick here. Oh, over the top. Got Quainer. Quainer goes to Lipinski. Lipinski's going to go forward with a low shooter. Finds an opportunity with Hoskin Elliott. Marks inside 50 within Hoskin Elliott range. Told to go. Hoskin Elliott does. Pumps it high. Membry's underneath and takes the mark.
Wow.
Tim Membry, top of the goal square. What happened there, Root?
Well, Hamling went up there, and I don't know what he was thinking, but he didn't go whack and punch it. He just, let's have a look on the replay screen. He was just a half.
It's a gentle attempt, wasn't it?
A half punch at best.
Soft.
Gee, that is a very disappointing spoil.
Especially when that's what you're in the team to do.
So Membry hasn't kicked one tonight, Ash.
Spot on, BT.
And he comes for the first goal of the second half. 20 metres out directly in front to the hill end. They'll enjoy it when the ball goes up there. And it does that. So Membry gets his first. And Collingwood move along very nicely to 11.975, leading Sydney 8.351. That is his 300th career goal for Tim Membry.
Oh, they're trying to steal footies out in the crowd. Have a look at them. They've got one. Yep, he's got the hand up. What would Danny Frawley say about that punch?
Mate, he would be very savagely disappointed.
One of that Rick Kennedy.
Gee, yeah.
Biggles, Bob Jane team ups.
Yeah, I was up on the hill last night, and I'll tell you what, the Bluecoats up there, they are relentless with getting the ball back. There are a couple of kids who were super quick, and they were interstaters, thought they had the footy, and I'll tell you what, they wrenched it out of their hands. They will not let a ball go out of this ground.
Wow. It's been a long time since I've seen a ball stolen.
Oh,
they used to be stolen a lot.
They love it in gather round, though. They actually like them getting...
Well, they're a collectible footy.
That's right.
All stuff on them.
That bounce will be coming back. Used to have it at Victoria Park all the time, didn't it, back in the day?
Yeah. Come over the Yarra Falls end, over the fence, and I reckon 2 out of every 5 footies went over the fence at Collingwood.
4-goal lead of the Pies for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Ball's thrown up this time by the umpire. Hill came charging in off the flank and then kicks an outside boot of the ball. Membry bent down, picked it up, wasn't sure where to go next. Sullivan was the link in the chain. He shimmies a handball free. Mychek's got one out wide and Lipinski can't get it to him. And he pulled up.
Getting a close-up shot of the gather round footy there with some nice stamp on it.
You got one of them in your kit?
Haven't. Seen a few floating around this weekend though that I have thought about. And just check cameras and seen that probably not a wise thing to do. Here's Quainer. If you can get one, I suggest you get it. Quayner's got it 60 metres out from goal. Now he doesn't think he can kick it from here.
Nah, it's a set play. He should take his time.
$1 and a Grundy mark.
So how's it going to go with the set play? Here he goes. Kicks it out to the right-hand side. Plops it into a hole. A big hole. Mychek arrived, couldn't reel it in. Off hands it comes, and Sydney are away off the boot of Rampy.
And again, they just have to kick to a contest. Darcy Moore fell over. And the Jars free outside wing, a run and carry from Campbell. He's a left footer. He put the Sharon on the ground and it didn't come back and then just bangs away.
That was poor footy.
Nobody home.
Oh, he had one over the top at the start and didn't use it. He took the bounce when he should have just kicked it.
And Collingwood come out the other side. Josh Dacos has Chris.
Chris takes the mark here. So the Triple M's, Mychek, McStay, and Membry have all kicked a goal in this game now. Down the line they go. Tom McCartan went to spoil. Didn't get it to the boundary line. McStay kept it alive but gave it back to Sydney. And Rampy takes the mark on the defence at 50. So Rampy just going backwards here to relieve a little bit of pressure. A little bit confused and devoid of ideas at the moment, Sydney. Roberts has got it in the back 50.
I reckon this next goal's pretty important, BT. Said earlier, it's 4-goal margin.
Well, they've had a lot of the play, Collingwood. They just haven't been able to put them away.
Roberts to Lloyd by foot. Lloyd's kick to Robert. Boy. Little knockdown by Long. Here's Bobby. Kick to Elliott. Elliott takes the mark. 40 metres out on a pretty tough angle for Jamie Elliott. Could this be the one the boys are talking about?
Must come to it now.
Jamie Elliott, tough angle. He's only starting his approach about 1 or 2 metres inside the boundary line. By the time he kicks it, he's about 5 metres inside it.
Just inside the left post, Brian.
Okay, Ruth.
A little bit of left to right.
Oh, we can't really see from this angle, but
there you can now.
Take your
look at the screen.
There it is, yes. Elliott comes in, starts it right on. I'll go straight from there. And it does. beautifully. He's got two. Very, very important goal. They've kicked both goals in this quarter. 12-9-81 to 8-3-51 for the Pies.
We just finished saying they haven't made the most of the opportunities they've had. It's 9 inside 50s to 3. It's been in their forward line for 75% of the third quarter, so they deserved another goal, and it's out to 30 points now.
3 in a row.
Have Sydney got another shot?
Where's it going to come from, Roo?
Well, you always look to their leaders, don't you? You're always going to start in the midfield, so they're going to win the centre square.
So it's Chad Warner that's now going to go into the centre bounce. Isaac Heaney's having a spell, so it's going to have to be up to James Jordan's tagging. Angus Sheldrick's a pretty young guy there in the centre bounce as well, so it might be Chad and Grundy have to get something rolling.
Pies by 30 points for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. 2 Swans fell over, and that meant that Pendlebury was able to get boots of ball and kick a spiral to half forward.
Oh, opened up for him.
McCreary with ball in hand.
Gee, take it so long, McCreary.
Yeah.
Had options everywhere.
So he's waited and waited and waited. Top of the goal square is where he heads. They almost snatched it away from Grundy. Hill dangerous, shrugs the tackle, then his kick was smothered. Desperate work on the last line by Jordan. And if that wasn't smothered, Bobby was about to bang through another one.
He looks lively still, Bobby.
Ball up, about 15 metres out from Collingwood's goal here at the hill end.
Did well, McStade is to bring it to the ground.
Cameron there, took it out of the ruck. Got a little kick in, you heard the umpire's call as Roberts took the mark, but it wasn't paid because it wasn't the required G. So Roger Martin will ball it up. Darcy, Cameron, fresh airy. In they go, Myercheck head down, looking for the free, nothing on offer there. Another ball up here at the top of Collingwood's attacking goal square. Danger, 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 danger here for the Sydney defenders. Picked up by Long. Shovel the handball out to Perryman. Perryman a sidewinder missed. Minor score, let off. 82 for Collingwood, 51 for Sydney, a 31-point advantage. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Third quarter numbers, Ash, Red Z Lending.
Yeah, those inside 50s, 10-3 Collingwood's way. Isaac Heaney, as Roo mentioned, on the bench, just the one handball in this third quarter.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. The ball's fisted out of play at half-back. Sydney led by 11 points earlier in the game. And Collingwood have started to exert their dominance from there. 31 is their current advantage. McCreary tried to knock it on to Dacos, missed him, and Roberts kicks a left foot ball up to the broadcast wing. It was fisted forward. Hanley was smart, moved it on to Haywood, and has got some men inside the centre square, and that's where they eventually find Campbell, who shares with Florent. And now Lloyd, too far out to score. So he's going to go back into the corridor, and Roberts once more.
More central location here for Roberts. Got the full 180 on offer.
Laddams needs to compete if they kick it in high.
And he goes high. Here they are. All the big men are there. None of us can catch it for the opposition. Cameron caught it. I tell you what, the handball to Dacos. He wants the give and go as well. Didn't get it back outside to Isaac Quainer. Took a bounce now, Quainer. Long ball down the line here, looking for McStay. From the side was Bobby Hill, and Elliott there as well over the line now to bounce. Half forward for the Magpies.
Big fellas in the forward line that can't bring it to ground. Very frustrating for the coaches.
It's the murmur over the crowd.
That's the chitter-chatter about whether they're going to have a drink or stay with the footy.
That's exactly right. Nick Dacos at the full. He's caught high. What's his night look like, two-man, Nick Dacos?
17 disposals, 5 clearances.
Averages 26 against Sydney.
Been under pressure with a lot of his kicks, so that man is dangerous tonight.
Not 15 to Pendlebury. He gave it back to Nick Dacos. Just their hit and hope job. High and long. McStay got it front and centre. Hill knocked it on to Long, who had it and went without it. Kicked off the ground, and Sydney clear their defensive area momentarily. And then they're happy to ball it up.
Long again, then another little opportunity. I want to see him give it first thought. I want to see him become a voluntary giver. Long. A little knockdown here. May have had the licence, I don't know. You don't know what he's been told. Little one here, not saying it's bad, just a little tiny thing. Soccer off the ground there is marked by Florin in defence. Shuffled off the handball to Han Ling.
Nice kick.
It is indeed. Good ball to McLean. McLean takes the mark at half-back, so they're edging their way forward here, Sydney.
McCartan has gone forward for the Swannies.
They go sideways to Florent. Florent to Rowbottom. Rowbottom completes the mark. Goes more direct with a beautiful kick.
They're on.
Forward. Over the top here they go. Gee, it was punched away heavily from Cleary. And Collingwood made him earn it.
Wow.
Cleary goes to ground.
Gee, Hanley missed the option out the back.
There was Jake Lloyd running off ball side, really spot on. Would have been a walking goal.
How did he not see that? He was looking at him.
So thrown up inside Sydney's forward 50. Perryman handballs wide. Gets it away. Hill takes the ball to the boundary line in front of Sam Wicks.
I don't think it's going to be Tom McCartan that's going to make the difference with Sydney scoring. It's going to be the ball movement. Like that example just there we saw was perfect. That's how they're going to get their goals, from what they do at half-back. Not necessarily having Tom McCartan at full forward, but maybe they've thought, from Dean Cox in the coaching box, it's time to try something, otherwise this game will be over.
Collingwood by 31 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Heaney trying to make something happen for them. Warner, then Sheldrick, and now Laddams did okay that time.
Did well.
Drew a man, gave it back to Sheldrick. Corey Warner late on the scene. Crisp dropped them up. Warner knocked it out of his hands, did really nicely. Heaney takes care of the rest. A desperately needed goal for Sydney. And the ball was in the hands of the right man. Heaney's got two. And it's back to 25 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
19 disposals, 2 goals now for Isaac Heaney. We've been a bit critical of Laddams up forward, but he did a really good thing on the boundary line there. Dodged around his opponent and set up the ball movement that got Isaac Heaney the ball inside the forward 50. Good finish.
He might need to put his Superman cape on again, Heaney. We saw him do it a number of times last year, particularly late in games. It feels like he is the one, the match winner for Sydney, that's going to give them any sort of chance.
They did a lot where they had a single match winner last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Heaney kicks his second goal in a time of great need to keep this alive for Sydney. We go back to the middle. Red lights are buzzing in my computer here, Ash. I don't know about yours. Time in forward half this quarter for Collingwood, 75%. Unheard of numbers. Here is Long out of the middle of the ground here for Collingwood. Goes long and deep out the back door to Myercheck. Couldn't pick it up. Little handball comes. James Jordan applying the tackling pressure. Beautifully done. Myercheck goes for the ground level ball. Membry right foot snap. Missed. Minor score 83 Collingwood, 57 Sydney. Beacon Trade scoreboards.
23 scoring shots to 12 Collingwood's way, so that gives you a bit of an indication of the dominance of the game.
Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. They've got downlights, fans, switches, whatever the project. They've got you covered. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. Swans go straight up the middle here at the Adelaide Oval, but it's coming back. McCreery dodges the first tackle. Bombs away from 55! Big goal for Bo McCreery. His second of the night. That one's going to hurt the Swans.
Yeah, that sucked a bit of helium out of the balloon, that one there. They just thought they might have been able to make a bit of a comeback. Sydney, Bo McCreery back in his home state. Kicked that one from about 55 out. He's got a big, long kick on him. Straight through the middle.
He's a good player, McCreery, isn't he? Just bobs up when you need him.
Yeah, he's super fast.
Gee, Ned Long was involved in that as well, though. He won this ground ball from the kick in from Riley Bice. Became a 50-50 ball. And Ned Long started the chain. He's had some sort of game. 22 disposals, 14 contested, 8 clearances, and he's had 8 score involvements. Huge.
Big goal for Collingwood, 3 goals to 1 in the quarter. They've owned the forward half ball. Out of the middle, Sydney with a little win there to row bottom. Didn't really extract it out of the centre circle though. And we'll have another ball up. Wanting the free kick there was Sheldrick, the sub, who's been activated. Expected Ramadi, who's out injured earlier in the game in the first half. Laddams spun out of the pack with the left foot, kick to centre half forward. Little knockout wide. Running hard and working hard out there is Cleary. Keeps it alive, handball back to Grundy. Grundy to let it go to Lloyd. Lloyd out the back door. Sydney are going to come forward powerfully once again. High ball inside their attacking 50. McLean reckoned he couldn't get free run at the footy. And Moore takes an uncontested mark in the end.
And he moves it on to Josh Dacos. And now Braden Maynard out of contract at the end of the season.
You'd have to lower the eyes, the Swans, when they go forward. They just haven't got the tall timber.
Jeremy Howe is going to hold this ball up. Instructed to play on by the umpire at left half back. Hugs the boundary line with his kick. Myercheck used the body well. Got rid of Hamling. It's all working for the Pies at the moment.
Yeah, they're in complete control of this game. They're rock solid in their defensive 50. Sydney aren't really threatening them unless they get some really good ball movement going from half back, which has been rare since the first quarter.
They're in front by 32 points, and McStay takes a contested mark. Quickly to centre half forward. The kick was just a fraction hot for Perryman, and the Swans get the ball back.
It's really let him in. Here goes Heaney. Steps on the gas, took a bounce. Got a good-looking ball to McLean. It was a Collingwood mistake that's resulted in this set shot forward for Sydney now through McLean.
Yeah, Dan McStay wants that kick back. He's looking at the bench. He's basically saying sorry to Craig McRae, who got up off the bench and yelled at him. I think that he knew straight away that kick into the corridor to a 50-50 was dangerous. And if you don't get it right, this is exactly what happens.
Now McLean's got a kick from 48 metres here. Just a tiny little bit of angle about it. They are hanging on here by a thread. Sydney. McLean. Just inside the 50. Good looking kick.
Beautiful.
Great hit. He's got 3. Big goal from McLean. Big goal. 10-3-63. Trailing Collingwood 13-11-89 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's going to have a big last quarter if they're going to win this game. McLean, he's going to give him a target up there. He's kicked 3, and he might have to kick a couple more if they're going to come from behind and get the chocolates here.
It's their efficiency, though, isn't it? It's kicking 10 goals from 13 shots. That's what's giving them half a chance here. Good kicking's good football, Brian.
Yes, it is.
Biggles, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, spot on, Joey. Craig McRae jumped to the boundary line and yelled out to McStay just to get it in. So not to look laterally. He was pointing, just get it in quick.
Ash Chua, Red Zed Lending.
Yeah, so Collingwood only allow opposition teams to generate 10 points per game from half-back tonight. Sydney have posted 24 points, actually kept Carlton scoreless from that zone last week.
Sharp by you, Ash. Good start to gather round for the two men.
And he goes downhill from here.
We're just getting the best of it right now by Sunday. Oh, yeah. The train will be off the track in a big way. He's clearing. On the lead, McLean, who's lifting in confidence but drops the mark. It's spilt down to his knees, and Darcy Moore gathers quickly. Dacos, Hoskin, Elliott. Back to Nick Dacos. And short. Only just the 15 to Darcy Cameron.
Yeah, they almost lost it. The Sydney pressure was mounting on them again there.
15, play
Cameron
on.
sideways to Quainer. Hold to go, Quainer, who is slow to react. Kicks to Dacos. Knocked away from him by Lloyd. Taken away by Campbell. Campbell punts the handball to Sheldrick. Sheldrick's kick inside is gobbled up here by Pendlebury. Pendlebury to Dacos. This is Josh. Horrible kick by Josh. High ball down the wing. No winner in the air. Hoskin Elliott. Sheldrick got a few metres. Sydney go inside 50. Sneaky one. Look at this. McCartan on the lead. He's marked 55 metres out. Little tip kick over the top. And Lloyd has got forward and taken the mark. 254 games this man has played, Ash. Hasn't kicked a lot of goals, Lloyd.
He's been very durable as well, BT, with those 253.
Jake, that's your line.
Ash not really giving me an answer. As we line up from 30. This to get it back to 20 points. Goodness gracious me. They are hanging in here. Steps to the plate now. Lloyd misses. Minor score. 89-64 on the Triple M scoreboard.
Oh, I had to take that one, didn't he?
So a minute 53 left in the quarter. Collingwood trying to take it to the other end and land a blow on the Swans, but Florence got other ideas from the wing. Pumps it back and long. Howe in best position. Dropped it. Snatched out of his hands by McCartan. Gave a handball off. Rowbottom had his kick smothered. Hanley trying to stand up in a tackle now and he's caught.
Gee, they butchered a couple of opportunities there, the Swans. They're just not good enough to capitalise on their opportunities at the moment.
But Penn will be really smart, and he could have given the little handball to Dacos, but he didn't want to put anyone under pressure, and he knew the state of the game with a minute to go on the quarter in defence, that steady she goes was the better thought. Quainer slides it down the line with a very, very high ball looking for Membry. Lloyd out the back door is going to collect it. Roberts does instead. Handball intercepted by Long. There he goes again. Another one around the corner. Long ball forward though. Good bounce for Elliott. Elliott able to step around two. The second one was Lloyd. Left foot inside 50. Will be gobbled up here by Corey Warner.
So still time for Sydney. 45 seconds. Rampy, a direct kick and a nice one too. McLean handballs to Campbell on the move, who looked up and saw nothing but black and white jumpers. So Sydney are going to have to build this up smartly. Warner to Blakey. Only knows one way to go, and that's forward. So had to handball laterally. Roberts, left foot kick is okay.
He can kick it from there, Campbell. He can kick it from there.
He's going to kick from right on 50, maybe just beyond that.
He's a big kick, this guy on the left. He's a bullet.
And the three-quarter time siren is about to sound.
Yeah, but you got to just go straight up. Yeah.
Just game on if he kicks it.
They trail by 25 points. Braden Campbell. Played on, so it won't count. He stepped off his line. So the 25 points is the magic number at three-quarter time. It's Collingwood lead on Friday night footy, 13-11-89 to Sydney, 10-4-64 at the Adelaide Oval. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. They've got the downlights, fans and switches. Whatever the project, they've got you covered. Beacon Trade. Let's make life work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Gather Round.
a Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Macca's with one of 6 collectible toys.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Kelly, you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You've won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
Tell the sun to get. I'm trying to sleep if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light. Screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light. Screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
Tradies, why settle for good value when you can get great trade value with AEG Power Tools? Get a free battery and charger pack when you buy select 18-volt tool skins, like a track saw, framing nailer and more. On now at Bunnings and Toolkit Depot. T's and C's apply. AEG Trade Value. It's great.
Time now for some more hot dates.
Bunnings can help you get ready for the Easter break. From completing those DIY projects to setting up to entertain. Check out their wide range in-store or online at bunnings.com.au.
Hot dates.
At Wild Bean Cafe, you'll get delicious golden chicken bites for only $1 each. You'll love them, but be quick. Everyone else will love them too. Available at participating BP stores. Wild Bean Cafe drives you cravey.
Hot dates. Pencil them in.
The long discussions. Should we? Shouldn't we? Then the decision. It's time to sell this place.
Now you have to take a leap of faith and find an agent. If you don't know how to evaluate the right agent to sell your home, you're not alone. But localagentfinder.com.au can help. With localagentfinder.com.au, you'll find an agent who understands your needs and wants to get you the best result possible. Compare and connect with the right agent at no cost. Search Local Agent Finder.
Some days are just go, go, go. From the house to the post office, pick up that thing, swing by Mum's to help her with her Wi-Fi again. And what I need is a $3.95 Go bucket from KFC for a tasty bite to go. KFC, FLG. Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
Visit Sydney City Jack this April and the first $3,000 is on us. All new Jack buyers receive a $3,000 bonus when buying a new T9 Ute with 7 years unlimited kilometre warranty, 5-star ANCAP safety rating and too many features to list. Get so much more than you bargained for at Sydney City Jack, Botany Road, Botany or sydneycityjackmotors.com.au. T's and C's on our website, MD053798.
Win $1,000 so you can take a paid day off thanks to Solo by MYOB and Triple M. To go in the draw, tell us your work woes.
Philip from Sydney. I've realised by always saying yes to clients, I'm working every single day on top of manual invoicing, expenses, etc. A break would be appreciated.
To enter, head to the win page now at triplem.com.au. All thanks to Solo by MYOB. Do less work. Competition T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Rocks Gather Round.
Oh my God, we're back again. This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
The Pies by 25 points at three-quarter time. 13-11-89 to Sydney, 10-4-64. Elliott has 2, as does Bobby Hill and Brody Myercheck for Sydney. Hayden McLean's got 3. Tom Hanley's got a couple, and then all singles after that. Ash Chua, Red Z Lending.
Ned Long, 23 touches. His PB is 24, throwing 8 clearances. Darcy Moore, 4th in the AFL for intercepts, 9 tonight, the most on the ground. Heaney, he led the Swans with 20 touches and a couple of goals.
And downstairs for Bob Jane Team Arts all night long, who have got a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Red Biglands.
Yeah, Jack, just recapping the subs. Of course, Marty out in that second term with a nasty right hamstring injury. You can see him hobbling away from the huddle right now. And they subbed in Shelter in that second term. The Pies have still got Ed Allen up their sleeve, so they're yet to break from their huddle.
Great work, Biggles. Joey Rood. Is it a bridge too far for the Swans?
It feels like it. It feels like it, unless everything goes right and their stars step up. I mean, Heaney and Warner are going to have 10 disposals each and probably kick a goal or 2.
And the thing is, that's not out of the question.
No, it's not.
They've done it before.
This happened many times last
year.
It did.
Yeah. So they're going to have to play pretty perfect football. They're going to have to take their chances. And they're going to need Heaney and Warner to have special quarters, which they have done before. But the way the game's being played, particularly since sort of midway through the first quarter, Collingwood have had it on their terms. They've been tougher on the inside. They're defending really staunchly behind the ball, and they've got a number of avenues to goal forward of it. So I think they'll be pretty comfortable with where they're sitting.
McCartan's gone forward again. McLean's kicked 3. He needs to be a focal target. But Collingwood, they've been too strong for most of the night. Can they go again in the last quarter?
Collingwood looking to make it a 4-1 start to the season, with a couple of big games coming up after that. Brisbane at the Gabba next Thursday night?
Big game.
Easter Thursday, yeah.
Anzac Day and then Geelong after that.
Wow.
So they've got something to finish off here first, and Sydney are not done yet. Start of the last quarter here, we're underway. Grundy out the back door, so expertly to Heaney. Heaney a running 2-run bounce out of the middle of the ground. A slicing kick forward. Here comes Sydney on the rebound here. Picked up by McLean. Got the handball out. Jordan had a fumble. Side bottom picked it up. Banged on the boot. Collingwood out of trouble momentarily. Bounced to Bobby Hill, no favours, but it was good for Elliott. Now Dacos over the top to Hill. Swarmed on as soon as he got it. No free kick. Tackle laid by Sam Wicks. Kicked a couple of goals early, Hill.
Hey, Biggles, is there any dew on the ball down there, Biggles?
No, perfect, Roo. It's still 19 degrees, no dew whatsoever. The ground's getting pretty chopped up. Of course, they're going to have 5 games here in 3 days, normally only having 1 per weekend, but pretty flat.
Got a bit
good
slippery
out there.
last night.
No, it didn't.
Bloody 30 degrees. What are you talking about, Roy?
No, I was down on the boundary.
Old foggy eyes.
Foggy eyes.
Mycheck in possession.
And I don't think there's a blade of grass out of shape out there, Biggers.
It's an immaculate ground, this one, isn't it? It's off hands. And he's thrown in left forward pocket.
Errol Goulden on the bench.
Biggers making it sound like they had Mr. Motocross here or something. Bloody perfect. Andrew throw-in. Grundy in front, wanted the free. Was disappointed when he didn't get it. Dankos to Lipinski. Lipinski to Myercheck. Myercheck to Lipinski. Right foot snap. Missed it. Put it across the face of the goal. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. Lipinski.
Stand there, Dave, does he?
Riley Bice
So you've got to stand there.
will be the man with ball in hand in the back pocket for the Swans. They trail by 25 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Next to a contest. McCartan got it to the front of the pack. Hayward had it for a long time. Umpire let it go instead, and now McCartan snuck away. He's had a couple of bounces down the broadcast side. He kicks with the outside of the boot. It's a wonderful kick. And then McLean drops the mark. He was in space. Ball hits the ground, and Sidebottom's there waiting for it. Happy to force a ball up, but a missed opportunity for the Swans.
Well, if they're going to win the game, you've got to be able to take the chest mark. That was poor.
He's like a baby giraffe trying to clasp that one. Little knockdown here comes to Chris. Warner wanted the free, nothing forthcoming. Spain out of trouble, Hayward. Sydney go into attack. It's been marked, but we clearly heard the play on call many times from the umpire when Corey Warner thought he'd caught it. Another ball up. 25-point margin in favour of Collingwood. 20 metres out from Sydney's goal. Darcy Moore to Jeremy Howe to Jack Crisp. All handballs, and now the Crisp kick wide is not great. And Sydney repelled off the boot of Bass.
Having a little crack, Sydney. They just can't capitalise at the moment.
They need a goal, don't they, Root?
Well, it just puts a little bit more pressure on the opposition if you can.
And they'll have in the back of their minds the game late last year. Collingwood were up 21 points at three-quarter time, lost by 3. That was one of those games BT spoke of where the Sydney Stars lifted, Goulden kicked the goal late. So they've done it before.
Stand.
Collingwood slowly build it up from half-back. Pendlebury.
Play on.
Short to Jack Crisp.
Yep.
He plays on and punches it low. McStay playing in front marks now. If he goes quickly, he's got Elliott on his own in the forward pocket. He was forced to turn around and kick on the right foot. And the ball falls short and bounces out of bounds.
Jamie Elliott be swearing under his breath there. He was right out the back. Just couldn't quite get it to him, McStay.
Collingwood by 25 points. Early stages, final quarter here. Gather round 5. Knockdown comes here to Bice. And ball was pinned, and will ball it up right on the attacking 50 for Collingwood. Umpire Gianfagna got it to Cameron. Cameron highballed it. Lloyd will be paid the mark here. So Jake Lloyd deep in defence here for Sydney. Trying to get something moving. Where's it got to come from? The Lloyd kick is perfection to Wicks. Wicks ran off the mark, so the umpire said you must play on, and he does just that. Kick down the wing. Maynard threw his body up relentlessly. Now in they go. Heaney trying to screen a difficult handball out to Warner. Warner won it magnificently. Maynard got him high. And it'll be a free going to Warner right on the edge of the square at half-back.
Chad Warner tonight, Chua, Red Z Lending.
17 disposals, 3 clearances.
There's James Jordan on the logo. He's got Heaney.
Play on.
Still too far out to score. His kick inside 50 was good. Darcy Moore was better.
Like a giraffe.
Got the late fist in and punches it out of play.
Get your hands out, Hayden. Put your arms out. Force Darcy Moore to make a spoil an arm chop.
Trying to mark it on his chest and allowed the punch from Moore to get there. Goodness maces me. One is down there. Boundary throw in, and it goes out of bounds again, but closer around for the Sydney goal. Free kick for deliberate. It'll be a Lipinski ball. 89 Collingwood, 64 Sydney route.
Don't pay them often in your forward 50 for insufficient intent.
Hit down the line here. Cameron off hands. Myercheck to Nick Dacos. Quietish night for him, I say with hesitation. Handball to Elliott. Elliott, little right foot frog ball. Found McStay. McStay marks half forward. Slows it down, doesn't go.
Move it on. Play on. Play on, that's his day.
That's not 15, as you heard. Umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy. Lipinski to a one-on-one. Sullivan was caught out of position. Crisp onto the ball, and Heaney makes sure that doesn't get out.
That was a good call about Nick Dacos, BT. If you look at the stat sheet, it says 25. He's got the most on the ground, but it certainly hasn't been a damaging 25, and you wouldn't think he's one of the best 3 or 4 players on the ground from what we've seen. Been good, but not the Nick Dacos of last season and the year before.
He's had Jordan right with him, so everything's been under pressure.
Joey Montagna, Mark Rashuda, here tonight for Seabus Super. Making hard work pay off Hill. A lightning handball to Pendlebury. And then to Dacos, who's got Jordan bearing down on him. Managed to work at the side bottom to Lipinski. Showtime here for Collingwood. Hill in the pocket, turns around and snaps and misses.
Got fast feet, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like
you on the dance floor.
Frank Sinatra's dancers, whoever they were. Who was a good dancer? Jack?
Michael Jackson.
Yes, he was. and he Michael Slattery, was it?
That's
Michael Flatley.
Michael
Yeah, tap dancer. Got the tap dancer.
Slattery's the photographer, isn't he?
I got no idea. What I do know is Michael J wasn't able to really get up on his twinkle toes. He was a real twinkle toe operator. Jeremy Howe from half back. Oh, Michael. Up they flying. Myercheck. Membry. Handball here from Long. Hoskin Elliott. Deep ball Elliott. Takes the mark. Jamie Elliott has marked deep for Collingwood. Forward pocket. Collingwood lead by 26. Bit of time off the tick-tock here in the last. Elliott must kick inside left goalpost by a metre. Strong hands for a small man. He is a good mark overhead. The boy from Seymour, I think, Jack.
Euroa, yeah.
Euroa, just up the highway from Seymour. Next town. Here is Elliott. Kick on the way is fantastic. He sticks it through the middle. He's got 3. Then Collingwood lead by 32 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It'll be hard from here now for the Swannies. Been the best team all night, Collingwood. Sydney, Coxie's looking, what can we do? Dropping a couple F-bombs, shaking his head. He's not happy. Probably frustrated at the cattle they've got out there with all the injuries.
Missing 8 of their guns. 9.
Plus a Marty.
Yep.
I mean, no one can handle that.
Feels like the damn wall's breaking.
Nick, James, come down this way, guys.
32 points is Collingwood's lead now.
I think it's breaking in a more permanent way. Not just this game for Sydney, but I think the slide is on for Sydney.
Okay. Didn't say that before the game.
No, but I've been saying it everywhere except here.
You've done enough gigs. You've had a chance to say it.
I'm sick of saying it.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Box footy.
I was
You
dumbfounded.
said top 4 before the game.
I was dumbfounded when Rue picked Sydney to win the game.
I did, actually.
Yes.
Free kick, Hoskin Elliott.
Thanks, Brian.
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to sound biased.
He'll kick from just outside range. Cameron floats back. Myercheck at the front. What a pack mark from Brodie Myercheck. Top of the goal square to make it a 38-point lead.
And this is the strength of Collingwood, is all their forwards look dangerous, don't they? They're all different. McStay, Mycheck, Elliott, Bobby Hill, McCreary. This is their point of difference this year, Collingwood.
For his third, and to put it to bed. It's going to be a big win for Collingwood here at Gather Round. 15-12, 102 to 10-4-64. All that on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I think that's worth chopping apart during the week, Joey. I think you're right. They do all offer something very different, don't they?
Yep. They're pretty good in the air, even the little fellas.
Yeah, no, they're lively. They look dangerous again. And I think their back line needs to be given a bit more credit. I mean, I think they've been terrific again. Darcy Moore, Billy Frampton, they haven't really been beaten. I know the forwards have kicked well for Sydney, but they've looked dangerous in the air as well. Mycheck and McStay in the midfield for Collingwood have done the job. So
I reckon that's a case of Joey liking his own work. It was a very good comment.
Yes.
And I think you liked it.
He
was on him there, though.
You were complimenting me. Yeah. I didn't know how to take it.
No,
I didn't know that it was serious or not.
Bloody spot on.
What show would you put it on, Ben?
Please dissect it.
Brian, see? When Brian said, I don't know if he's being condescending or not.
Bring it up on back crack. High contact here. Free kick will go to Sydney. Roberts. Relton Roberts. Got the ball in the centre square. A bombarding left boot. High ball up goes McCartan off hands. Swift by Dacos, who got old stiff back when he got it. Here's Wicks running through. Right foot snap around the body, no good. Collingwood have got to mark this. Falling over while he did it, Cameron, which is slightly embarrassing. And 50. And Grundy says, what for? And it's a very good question.
Hey guys.
I'm assuming you ran over the mark.
Yeah, you got to come back to the 9 metre mark.
Yeah.
You've got to be back where the goal square ends, and he ran forward over it.
And Collingwood play on. Ned Long's had a fantastic night. He's kicked just slightly over the head of Sullivan. And then Membry gets an awkward bounce. 50 out from goal. Mycheck on his own, tackled straight away. Couldn't get boots of ball. Relton Roberts is a name I haven't heard for a while.
No, neither have I. But he just looks like a Relton.
Why wasn't that holding the ball?
Just looking there. Down to you, big fella.
Yeah, Edward Allen, the youngster from WA, has just been subbed on for the Pies, and Jamie Elliott's going to have a spell. I just think they're going to give him a rest. Haven't seen him chat with the Docs at all.
Sorry, Biggers, I've forgotten your name there for a sec.
Outside, another 2 metres.
Free kick going the way of Nick Dacos here. He's outside the 50. Crowd don't like it. Nick is completely ignoring the man on the mark. Looks for the spearing ball to Membry. Almost through the free kick. Out the back to Ham Ling. He gave it off to the Bison. Back over the top, and here they go once again with a launching ball from Wicks. Very high. Maynard trying to mark it on the chest. Hayward got it. Rowbottom had it. They all have a crack at it. Eventually it tries to come out, and it does. Now Wicks is going to kick the ball out wide.
To the advantage of Corey Warner, who wants to be able to get round back onto his left foot. He's able to do that pretty easily as well. On the bounce to McCartan at centre half forward. He had it, then lost it. Quick hands from Hanley. 60 away from Sydney's goal. Cleary was bumped as he kicked, and then Blakey swarmed. Great pressure here from the Pies. Umpire lets it go. Shallow kick inside Sydney's forward 50. Josh Dacos dispossessed. McCartan snaps and bounces it, and bounces it, and bounces it out of bounds.
So scoreboard check, 15-12, 102 Collingwood. Sydney 10-4-64. That's a 38-point differential.
Still piling on the pressure. Collingwood 217 to Sydney 175.
We think that's some sort of thermological thing there. The ball bounces towards goal on a minor score. We're not really sure how to explain it.
Collingwood still having a crack, taking away the time and space of the Sydney Swans, Brian.
So this will be 4-1 for the Magpies, with Brisbane at the Gabba, Essendon on Anzac Day, and Geelong. Boy, do they have some big games to come.
And then they head to Perth for the Dockers.
We'll certainly know where Collingwood fit the scheme of things up in the next month, won't we?
Yep.
Roberts on the wraparound. Clever with the outside of the boot. Fell onto the chest of Jordan. And he's searching for Braden Campbell. Maynard for company. Did well, Maynard. Didn't give away a free kick. Lipinski handballed over the top, but no one was there. The shot from Campbell is missing for a behind. There's still 9 minutes in this game. Collingwood by 37 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Collingwood currently sit on top of the live ladder, but it's very much a compromised one at the moment and early in the round.
5 metres back. Stand.
Isaac Quainer, short ball to Maynard. Maynard, a little low bullet to Nick Dacos, who marks it down low.
Try and take a bit of the sting out of the game. Going to chip it around here, Collingwood.
A couple of minutes off the clock here, as Rue says. Nick Dacos unloads with a very high ball to the wing. They fly. Mark taken here by Bice. Gets it over to Relton Roberts, who slid the handball to Florent. Florent there to Bice. He goes wide with the handball. Cleary might have been involved as well for Sydney.
There's Bice again. He's going to ask some questions of Collingwood defensively. Quaynor paddles it towards the boundary line, right forward pocket, and then lays a strong tackle that was high.
Sydney, I've gone through. Yep, I've gone through.
Harvey Norman replay here.
You stay on the mark, Jose? No, you stay there.
He's got him over the shoulder. And Corey Warner with a goal in the second quarter. He's a left footer, so he should be able to just work around on a little arc.
No place will do.
A few girls having a close-up over the fence.
Found a couple of friends in the front row. Warner from just inside 50.
Great kick.
That is excellent. He's second of the night. Terrific Corey Warner. That's back to 30 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, he's been one of the big improvers this season. He's certainly been given more opportunity with the injuries, and as we mentioned earlier in the call, he's made the most of it. He's found a spot for himself up on a wing. He's hit the scoreboard this year. He's tough, brave. So well done to Corey Warner. Just the 11 disposals tonight, but he's been able to kick a couple and been involved in 5 scores.
We're seeing a lot of goals kicked this season. Is that something that is going to continue, or does it automatically somehow shut itself down over a period of time this year, Roo? What do you reckon?
Oh, it's been pretty dry. I don't know. I think it might stay as long as the weather does.
Although, come winter time, then it gets a bit harder. I think we see this most years. The scoring's up early in the season and then it comes down. But it does feel, Brian, that the ball movement this year is getting better and better from every team, and teams are looking to be more aggressive on offence.
Heaney, Florent, Rowbottom trying to keep it alive. His mum and dad are here to watch him tonight. Over on that side of the ground where he currently is. Little handball comes out here to Laddams onto Warner. Warner gives it off and away they go. Corey Warner again goes deep long ball, and Isaac Quainer gets back to mark it on the line.
Isaac Quainer tonight, 2-man, Red Zed Lending.
Said 12 disposals, 300 metres gained.
Chris was almost away. Next to the interchange bench, here's Allen, the sub that Biggles told us about. He's confirming Jamie Elliott subbed out of the game. Sydney on the turnover. Heaney with a handball back into the corridor for Ollie Florent, who certainly tried his hardest. He's still a 2-on-2. This has been where things have fallen down a bit for Sydney tonight. Couldn't take a mark. Hayward bent down to pick it up. Ball jar's free. Frampton, Pendlebury, and then eventually Howe with a sweeping handball.
Sydney are pressing real hard at the moment. 6.5 minutes, they score here. It's back to 24.
That ball almost looks a little bit slippery down there. Don't you think? Biggles?
I reckon he's clutching at straws, Rupert. I had to walk around at half-time and she's dry as anything out there. It's not slippery. I just think it's the pressure, and Sydney are fumbling so much.
It's crispy. It can't be. It can't be. It possibly can't be, Roo.
It was the last night.
It's hot. It's hot here. It's not the tropics. We're in Adelaide, mate. We're down near Antarctica. So I don't know how we get dewy at night. Anyway, here it is, McCreary. Roo's confused.
I'm confused.
I'm tired.
15-12, 102 to 11-6, 72.
Yes, I do know that Antarctica is the driest continent on the earth.
47,649.
Great crowd.
Off the back of 50 last night. Here's Rowbottom, kicks from a standing start. Need a mark inside 50, can't find one.
He's been brilliant, Sidebottom. Again.
What is how the age of players, they've been able to play for longer.
Yeah, the professionalism.
Last night, Dangerfield 35, Tex 34.
In basketball terms, he's a what do they call him? A gym junkie, a court junkie. You know, he just loves it, can't get enough of it.
Yep.
Knock down here from Florence. Handball comes out to Haywood. He whacks it to Chad Warner. Chad Warner looking for the kick forward. Punch away by Frampton was impressive. The run away by Crisp was even more impressive. And the Isaac Quainer handball not so impressive. There's a little dribbler comes to Jeremy Howe and he kicks it around the corner, went out of bounds and came back in. I reckon that went out of bounds and wound its way back in from Jeremy Howe.
There was one last night that was definitely out of bounds. In the third quarter, I think it was. Not too far away from where this ball's going to be thrown back in. Pies by 30 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Heaney couldn't hang on to the mark. And Perryman inside defensive 50 to side bottom. Who just continues to accumulate Ash. Red Z Lending.
Disposal number 27.
How many score involvements?
Said 12 score involvements, which is the most on the ground. 34 years of age, still side bottom.
Biggles, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, just had a really close look at that stoppage. It was only metres away, and the Collingwood midfielders are just so much more vocal and louder at every stoppage. That's been the case throughout this game, where they've been dictating to the Sydney mids, and Sydney have been really reactive, but Collingwood is certainly up and about.
Swans continue to press. They haven't given up on the game. They just can't get a goal. They've had it inside 50 enough in the last quarter. Cannot convert. Side bottom and half back, handball to Long.
Long through centre half back. Kicks to open territory up forward. Florent's going to run back. McCreary's running him down. Florent knocked it back. He thought he had someone there. No one there. Spills out to Bobby. Bobby Hill. Goal. Kicked his third, Bobby. Third final quarter goal for Collingwood as well. 36-point lead here for the Magpies on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, if they don't take contested marks through the forwards, they can kick the grass and allow their speed to come into play. And that's what we saw there in McCreary's chase. McStay, they kept the ball alive, and then Bobby Hill sniffed an opportunity there. There might have been another one. He joined in as well. They are lively in that front half. They've been highly efficient as well. 28 shots from their 53 entries.
Well done by McStay, just to keep the ball moving forward, get out in front of Bobby Hill, who's now kicked 3 goals. He's been dangerous up forward. All of the, as we've said all night, Collingwood forward line much more dangerous than the Swans.
They've got a rest into Goey as well out of this game without any damage being done to him or his prospects working forward. Corey Warner there, kicked into the middle of the ground, missing his brother, but his brother made good work of it. Josh Dacos wraparound handball went straight to Rowbottom. Rowbottom onto Sheldrick, the sub, inside 50. McCartan got it, brilliant smother, ground level by Jeremy Howe. Howe to Moore to Cameron. Cameron to Dacos. Dacos to Dacos. Back to Moore. Famous Collingwood names out wide, and the mark is taken by Membry. Right on the line, out a wing, in front of the bespoke restaurant where we will be very, very soon.
Yes, we will be. And also where we were last night.
Yes. And tomorrow.
That's correct. There's Blakey.
For those that don't know, there's a hotel attached to the ground here, and it is superb. Should be one at every stadium.
Yeah, I agree.
Get looked after over there, boys.
Yep. James Jordan. Broadcast wing. Wicks is able to run and carry and then mung a ball forward.
Brenton and the team always making sure that we at Triple M are well looked after at the Oval,
which we most certainly appreciate. Bobby Hill at right half forward sits a high ball up. McStay and Hoskin Elliott almost spoiled each other. And Jordan can clean it up, works together with Cleary of the Swans.
Down to the last 2 minutes of the game. This is just junk time, just play time, just kiddie stuff now. Collingwood are going to be very, very impressive at 4-1 with Brisbane next Thursday night on Easter weekend. And that cranks up to be a good game, possibly a couple of the leading teams in the competition this year. Still to be sorted, still to be rated. But we do know that Brisbane are the best, that is for sure. Pompey going to ball it up in the middle of the ground. Beautiful knockdown by Grundy to row bottom. His kick forward is marked by Frampton into the fence of 50. So Frampton goes out wide to Quainer. How's he gone on the stat sheet, Quainer, tonight? Please, Ashley.
13 disposals, almost 400 metres gained, BT, 82% by foot.
McCreary picked it up off his toes like Michael Jackson. Oh, Twinkle Toes. Speaking of Twinkle Boy, Bobby was on the run, but the free kick will go the way here of Hamlin.
So Sydney have got Port Adelaide next week at the SCG. Gold Coast, GWS and Essendon in their future as well. Their biggest problem is availability and the lack of it.
Kick.
Great kick from Hayward. And Campbell. The mark just outside range. Nice kick too. Squares up a smart option. And a chance late in the game for Sydney to add a bit of respectability. Sheldrick the sub. It's a forlorn Sydney coach's box group.
No, they know they've got no ammo. Got no talent out there, not enough talent.
So in the last 30-odd seconds of the game, Angus Sheldrick leans back on it and punches it through for a goal. Consolation for the Swans. They trail by 30 points.
Well, they've actually had more inside 50s than Collingwood.
Have they?
Yep. 28 scoring shots to 18. Slacked a bit of system, bit of connection between their midfield and forwards.
Mark Rashuda on Triple M football. 32 seconds left in this game. Ash, Triple M football continues tomorrow in a very, very big way.
Certainly does, BT. We go to the Barossa, North Melbourne taking on the Gold Coast Suns, followed by the Blues against the Eagles here at the Adelaide Oval. Then we head over to Norwood, Bulldogs versus Brisbane. And then we close out Saturday night with Melbourne taking on the Demons at the Adelaide Oval as well.
Amazing football weekend. It's a football fest. It's called Gather Round. It's in Adelaide and everyone just loves it. Here's Dacos out of the middle. Got the handball to Pendlebury. Back to Nick Dacos. Nick Dacos over the top, and here they go once again. Sullivan looking for the squirting ball to Membry on the left, and he takes it. Membry marks. How many's Pendlebury had tonight, please, Ashley?
Yeah, Pendlebury, BT, 26 disposals, 6 clearances and 8 tackles.
Percentage of effective disposal for Pendlebury by foot?
Yeah, he's getting it just under 80%, BT.
Yes, that's good. Siren sounds. 30-point lead with a kick after the siren for Collingwood's Tim Membry. A kick from 40 metres out, directly in front, to make it a 36-point margin. He misses. So it is a 31-point win for Collingwood over the highly fancied Sydney Swans here in Gather Round at the Adelaide Oval. 16-13, 109 to Sydney. 12-6, 78. And I think they've lost the Collingwood song here. I think they've lost the song.
Here we go.
Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barrackers are shouting as all
playing in Adelaide. That's the last 10 games in a row they've won at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, they won 10 in a row, but they'd only won one of their last 6, I think, Ash, against Sydney.
Yep.
So, but they, as Roo said, they have a very good record here. The Pies, that is.
They go to 4-1 for the season. It's a great place to be. For Sydney, they're up against it in a big way now. They've got a couple of big games coming up, but they've got some serious injuries. It is a problem for them. Nick Dacos talking to Abby Holmes, courtesy of Channel 7.
Sydney kept coming all night. There were so many star players and X-Factor players, so we knew we had a challenge in our hands, but the boys held up really strong.
Speaking of X-Factor players, 34 disposals, 15 contested possessions, 9 clearances for you. You knew the tag was coming. Your coach even said, I hope James Jordan brings his running shoes because you'll be going all night. But how do you set yourself for that challenge week in, week out?
Yeah, just exactly that. I want to start my contest, so just make sure that on a bit of a smaller ground, just turn up to as many contests as I can. The boys are great. We do a lot of position switches and try and confuse the opposition, so it worked tonight, which is great.
You spent a lot of time at the feet of the one and only Darcy Cameron. It's his 100th game here tonight. Has it been nice to celebrate his journey so far this week?
No, absolutely. I think Fly said it pretty well during the week. He's our gel guy and gives us so much energy and so many laughs in the locker room, so we're very lucky to have him, and not only that, he's playing amazing football, so it's great roving off him too.
You guys are on the road for 10 days. I mean, Adelaide first stop, tick. You're up to Brisbane next Thursday night. But how much do you enjoy, I guess, getting on the road together and making the most of it?
Yeah, we love it. We're a really close group, so we sort of thrive hanging out with each other more. And I think a few of the boys with families, we've got them coming up next week, so it should be fun. Kids running around, causing a muck in the hotel, and yeah, it'll be great.
Well done, ripping game, gone so this up.
Thank you.
Great performance by Nick Dacos, man. What did he finish up for the night, just quickly?
Yeah, 34 disposals, 9 clearances, 1,000 handballs throughout his career, fastest ever of any Collingwood player at 75 games. A bit of a quirky step for you, Jack.
Nice one too. We're going to hear from him in the rooms very shortly. Biggles and Joey will be down there for all of the post-game analysis. Collingwood win tonight by 31 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Box Footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks gather round.
hot water needs replacing? Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Kelly, you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry, still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.
For an affordable quality used car in Sydney, you can't go past Mannheim. Our physical auctions are back every Tuesday at Moorebank from 10 a.m. A huge range of cars, SUVs and utes to suit any budget. Mannheim.com.au. MD 17890.
Tell the sun to get I'm trying to sleep in if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get and block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get and block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
Launch your punting plan with the Ladbrokes app. Take on the fun and download the Ladbrokes app today. What's gambling really costing you?
Triple M Footy.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Have you ever dreamed of having the world's best Italian-made tiles in your home? Right now at National Tiles, select any one of our 17 very popular standard range tiles and we'll upgrade you to the world's very best Italian-made tiles absolutely free, saving you a massive $4,000 on an average 80 square metre order. Yes, have the world's best Italian-made tiles and depending on quantity, save up to $4,000 or more. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Snoring and waking up tired? CPAP Direct can help. With over 20 locations, expert advice, top brands and a 5% price beat guarantee, tackling sleep apnea is easy. Take the online sleep assessment today. cpap.com.au.
Look at this guy flexing his new Flex drill.
Mate, that's what I thought. But you gotta try this thing.
The new Flex 24-volt power tool range. More power without the weight. A 30-day money-back guarantee and a lifetime warranty. Flex Tools. Demand more. Search flex-tools.com.au.
You weren't kidding.
Flex Tools. Demand more.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors. Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. Gorilla Glue. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Still driving yesterday's ute? Time to turn your old faithful into your new favourite. Trade in what everyone else is driving and trade up to something better. A ute with the latest tech, rugged good looks, 60 years of tough truck DNA and a whole lot more. The Jack T9 Ute. And right now with a $3,000 trade-up bonus. Goodbye old workhorse, hello new Jack Powerhouse. Trade up to a Jack T9 Ute today. Offer ends April 30, does not stack with other offers. T's and C's apply. See jackute.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks gather round.
Oh my God, we're back again. The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Collingwood out there soaking it up at the Adelaide Oval. They win tonight by 31 points in front of a crowd of 47,649. 16-13-109 to Sydney 12-6-78. It's all for McDonald's, and the hot honey has dropped at Macca's Roof for a limited time only. Embrace the drip. Have you had the hot honey?
No, I haven't actually, but I probably need one if you can hear my throat. But just too good, the Pies, weren't they? Multiple goal kickers, Elliott 3, Hill 3, Myercheck 3. McCreary bobbed up with a couple, heap of people with one. They were just too good, weren't they? Swans didn't have any firepower. They couldn't convert up forward. And, good win on the road for Collingwood.
What was the story of the night, Ash, as far as the numbers are concerned? Red Z Lending.
If you go look at Collingwood's defence, so their past 4 matches only conceding 54 points per game, ranked number 1. Tonight, Swans could only hit 78. They only conceded 6 goals from the corridor, the Magpies. The Swans are actually number 6 in the comp for goals scored from that particular zone.
And the inside 50 stat, Roo mentioned that towards the end of the game. What did that look like?
So it probably highlights their defence, doesn't it? They had one more entry, as Roo said, so 56 to 55 Sydney's way. But in that fourth quarter, it was 19-11, but Collingwood outscored them by, 26 points.
Sydney didn't have a target, did they?
Nah.
I mean, McLean kicked 3, could have had more if he made the most of his opportunities, but they're just lacking firepower. And a bit of class going forward.
At one stage, Roo, they only took 2 marks inside 50 from 19 entries, the Swans, whereas the Pies were 7 from 22.
Yeah.
Collingwood heading into the rooms. Biggles and Joey will be down there in a moment. They'll be looking after the Amy review. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy, Darcy. Cameron's got that cut above the eye in game number 100 tonight. And they're just going to link arms. This is a big win. You heard Nick Dacos in the interview with Channel 7 that they're going straight to Brisbane after this, so they're on the road for the best part of 10 days, Collingwood, and they've banked the first part of the trip.
Very happy, Collingwood. Not only the players down here, supporter base, very, very happy. Joe, this is the Triple M Amy review. Clangers happy, lucky you're with Amy. And no injury concerns, the big story too, Joey, because if Sydney lose a Marty for a few weeks and Collingwood come through clean as we wait for the interview with Nick Dacos, it's a big plus, isn't it?
It is a big plus, especially with some big games to come. As we touched on the Easter Thursday game at the Gabba, then they've got Anzac Day. If they can get Jordan DeGoey back, Lockie Schultz might still be a few more weeks away. Dan Houston, we know, with a couple of weeks suspension. But no, they're in pretty good shape, Collingwood. I was pretty impressed with their performance tonight. We mentioned it throughout the call. Their backline looks really settled. They're being really miserly in their defensive 50 like they were in 2023. The forwards are all looking lively and dangerous, and the midfield just keep getting the job done. And Ned Long, and we'll get to the Triple MVP votes a bit later, but Ned Long was sensational as an inside mid. Nick Dacos copping the tag, but continued to work hard. And then the old boys just doing their thing. So I think Collingwood should be really pleased with the shape they're in at this time of the season.
Players just going in to refuel and a couple of hugs with their loved ones. We talked about leg speed pre-game. That was going to be a worry for Collingwood. Didn't see it tonight because the ball use was so much sharper.
Yeah, Sydney early were able to get it on the outside with a bit of leg speed, and their ball movement from half back was dangerous early. But once Collingwood controlled the game and were able to play it in their forward half, control the contest and really take away that from Sydney, they weren't really threatened too often. So, I mean, that's the big facet of the game now, their ability to defend, and I think they're defending really well this season. Two-Man gave us some numbers earlier in the night talking about Collingwood and how elite they are defensively, and I thought we saw that again against a really good offence. I know they were missing some forwards, but the way the Collingwood team defence were able to stop them, I thought it was a really strong performance. So, well done by the Pies.
And competitively around stoppage as well, we talked about how they were instinctive, they were showing direction, they had the extra leadership compared to Sydney were chasing tails and reactive. And if, in a combative style, particularly if that's to progress in finals, which Collingwood everyone expects to play, that's huge.
Yeah, they've done that before, and I thought they just had the more weight of numbers. Sydney, it was really Isaac Heaney was by far their best player. I thought Grundy and Cameron was a really good battle. I think Grundy had the better of it early, but Darcy Cameron continues to have an elite season, and probably at this stage he's in calculations for the All-Australian ruck spot. So that was a great battle, but Collingwood just had more avenues through the midfield and the middle part of the ground, and then the forwards were able to get to work.
Very happy Collingwood rooms. Stand here with Joey Montagna just waiting on Nick Dacos after he refuels with a few carbs and Powerades. And, well, Collingwood, why do they love Adelaide Oval so much, Joey? I mean, they're obviously a young side, and you know what it's like to get away with young blokes. And when you get on the road and you gel and connect, to have an extended time away, it almost becomes like footy is just part of the fun.
Yeah, well, they've always had a good away record, haven't they, without going into it too much in recent years, and particularly here at the Adelaide Oval. Sometimes it just comes down to more because you're a good team, and good teams can win anywhere, anytime. They've been able to play other teams here at the Adelaide Oval that are neutral venues, so it's not necessarily always wins against Adelaide and Port Adelaide because they've won their last few years here at Gather Round. But no, I thought it was a really nice performance, and they did the job.
Yeah, we're going to rip through the Maccas I'm loving it moment, which occurred at the 21-minute mark of the third term. That Bo McCreary goal was outstanding, and this is how it unfolded.
Swans go straight up the middle here at the Adelaide Oval, but it's coming back. McCreary dodges the first tackle, bombs away from 55. Big goal for Bo McCreary.
Jack doing a wonderful job, calling very well on Triple M footy. That was an outstanding goal from long range. He has unlimited range, doesn't he, Joey?
Yeah, he's a star. No, it's as you said, they've all been dangerous. They're all playing good footy. And another really good performance.
What about your votes? How tight were they? The Triple MVP Award, Joey Montagna, tight tonight. I'd love to see how you rate these players.
Yeah, I'm happy to give the votes now while we wait for we got Nick Dacos to come. So don't go anywhere. We've got Nick Dacos coming for a chat. But the votes for me, I thought Isaac Heaney I'm going to give one vote to. I thought he was clearly the best Sydney Swan. He kept him in it at stages there. They ended up with a couple of goals. 2 goals, 28 disposals, 13 contested possessions. Anything good that came from Sydney offence was off the back of his performance. I gave 2 votes to Ned Long. I thought by far that was the best game of his career. Ned Long, 29 disposals. He had a stack of contested ball. He was brilliant, and he was. And then the best on ground for me, 3 votes. I actually gave him 3 votes last week as well against Carlton, but he's in scintillating form, and that goes to Steele Sidebottom. I thought his performance was sensational. So that's how I end up with the Triple MVP votes. 1 vote Isaac Heaney, 2 votes Ned Long, and 3 votes to Steele Sidebottom.
Nailed it, Joey. Very good. This is the Bob Jane interview. Bob Jane team-ups have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. The one and only Nick Dacos, congratulations on the performance. What is it about Adelaide Oval and the young side performing well here under huge pressure?
Yeah, not too sure. Just got told that's 10 in a row here, so obviously an awesome result. We seem to like Gather Round here, which is awesome, and Sydney are a really strong team. So great outing from the lads, and reset and go again against Brizzy next week.
There's always going to be a battle around the footy, and I thought you guys won the battle. Ned Long, I just said it was the best game of his career. He was sensational. The old boys kept getting the job done. You were getting the tag, but worked really hard. How'd you find the contest through the middle of the ground?
Yeah, I thought we were able to manipulate them a little bit. They're sort of quite sticky, and especially when there's a tag going on through there. So as you said, the boys are unreal, helped me a lot, and then Ned Long just going to work, probably been unfortunate with selection. Could have probably played every single week, 4 quarters, and he's just stuck at it. He's been so persistent, and it was great to see him go so well tonight.
What about your battle with James Jordan, one of the best taggers in the competition? Always tough here, but you've worked your backside off and had some serious influence.
Yeah, just wanted to keep running and get to as many contests as I could. Knew I've got some sort of positional switches I could do going forward, and really wanted to sort of test him out that way. And as you said, he's a really good tagger. He can run really well. So the boys were huge in helping me, and I'm glad we got 4 points.
And at the forward line too, clicking on all cylinders. Everyone's looking dangerous. McStay and Mycheck doing their thing. Bobby and McCreary. Everyone's bobbing up. So it's nice to have the different avenues and not just have the one target that maybe the opposition can work off.
No, exactly. And then brought over Timmy Membry too, who's another one that's been massive for us. So yeah, really good mix down there. Lockie Sullivan comes in tonight. He's another one that's probably sort of on the fringe with selection. He comes in, plays really well again, as he has every single time he's come in this year. So it's great to see the depth and players that just come in and play their role and go really well.
You hanging around Adelaide, or you head straight home? What's the go with the team?
Yep. So we're doing some clinics tomorrow, which the boys are pumped for, and then we go off to Gold Coast tomorrow Arvo, and then I think we set up camp there for the week. Wednesday go to Brizzy, and then get ready for Easter Thursday game against the Lions, which will no doubt be another great game.
Well done. You were brilliant again tonight. Pies are flying. I think the team's going really well. Good team effort, and good luck. Easter Thursday, massive game against the Brisbane Lions.
Thanks for having me, lads.
Well done.
So good to be joined by Nick Dacos in the room. Packed house down here, standing room only. And, Choice Hotels around the ground, Joey. It's a big weekend, of course, here in Adelaide. Choice Hotels gets more for your money, so you can check into more. Get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com tomorrow.
Big games. I'm going to be at the Barossa for the Gold Coast North Melbourne game.
Before that, the funny show on radio, apart from Sunday Run, is the Saturday Run.
The Saturday Run, boys. Yes, they are entertaining as always.
You've got to tell me you don't cry laughing listening to those blokes. You blokes are good.
Sometimes I find them stupid. Sometimes they're very funny. Bernie Vince leads the charge, Billy Brownless, but no, that'll be fun. Looking forward to that one. And then, of course, the twilight game, the 4 o'clock game, Bulldogs, Brisbane, is going to be fascinating at Norwood. You'd think Brisbane get the job done, but you never know. The Dogs, Sam Darcy's probably the best player in the competition at the moment, so that'll be an interesting game. And then Melbourne-Essendon will be a big one, more so for the loser. I think the loser, there'll be a big fallout from that because both teams would be expecting to win, and we'll see how that one pans out, but a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, big call team as well. The first game, Gold Coast, of course, taking on with Flip Izzy and Champs on the boundary being before you would have thought.
Good. Very good. Can't wait for that one. But been a good night here tonight, Biggles. I thought Collingwood, as we said throughout the call, the better team. They are playing some really good footy. Sydney have got some issues. They've got some injury concerns, but we might have to wrap it up here in the rooms. I want to get out of here. I want to go to the Bespoke Bar with Roo and BT. Thank you to everyone upstairs. Well done, Rabsy and Chew and Jason, everyone. Thank you to Biggles. Well done, BT. It wasn't his best night, but we loved the Brian Taylor and Jack Heverin as well. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks gather round. If you haven't had a taste of what it's like to win big on Sydney's Triple M yet,
Charlie, you're going to the UK to see Oasis! Yeah! You've won tolls for a year! You and a friend are off to Vegas!
don't worry. Still to come this year, $50,000 with Triple M's $50,000 no repeat workday. Good times and greatest hits. Sydney's 104.9 Triple M.
You have made my life.